What does it mean to be a Broken Arrow Tiger?
It means there's no such thing as the off season. Whatever it takes. It's time for the best 30 section in state to stand up.
Welcome to the jungle. It's time to fight.
Tiger Nation, let's ride.
It's time to represent the Broken Arrow, Oklahoma.
Good evening and welcome to Bixby, Oklahoma. Broken Arrow visiting the Spartans here on ArrowVision tonight. I'm Adam Hildebrand alongside Coach Steve Spavital, Madison Dildine down on the sidelines for us this evening. She'll have the coin toss for us in just a moment. Spav, the Tigers know what they're up against tonight. Broken Arrow comes in at 2-4. They're 2-1 in district play. If they could find a way to steal a win here, that would be a huge win because Bixby's won 55 in a row.
I know. It would be huge. We match up well, but it's going to be if we can be patient and consistent enough to play with them. You know, defensively, they're a really aggressive defense. They play with 9 in the box. Here we go.
We'll break that down more for you here in just a moment, but in the meantime, we're going to go down to the sideline and Madison Dildine, who's got the coin toss action for us. Getting everybody set up here for what looks like a fairly ceremonial coin toss.
Mm-hmm.
Mike is trying to go in and out on us a little bit. There it's back.
You can. They'll be on it here.
Now Bixby won the toss and has deferred, so Broken Arrow will receive. Madison's Mike going in and out a little bit on us, but so the Tigers will have the ball first, Spav, and
Yes.
This is a game where it feels weird to feel like Broken Arrow is the underdog in about any game.
I know.
The Tigers are going to have a chance to win every game they play, but under the circumstances, I think it is reasonable to say that the Tigers are the underdog here. So as the underdog, you get the ball first. That doesn't seem like a bad way to start the game. You have a chance to go out and set the tone here.
But you know, the old saying that I always said is you got to win the first down battle. That's going to be tough right now because they're going to put 9 in the box, and they're just going to dare you to take a shot or do something. So it's going to be difficult for us offensively. We got to be real patient. We got to be selective. We got to take the shots when we need to. We got to think. You know, screen game may not be as successful as you think it would be either because they have so many people in the box. And you know, something similar was like with Union. Union ran a similar type of a defense. They put everybody in the box and they dared you to throw the ball, and we need to be successful and take some chances.
The Tigers have taken the field here in Bixby, and the Spartans, winners of 55 consecutive games, stand at the entrance of their inflatable helmet tunnel across and to our left. These are teams that will be familiar with each other. The Tigers played in a jamboree
Yes,
here before the season
preseason,
started.
Yes.
So they've played on this field, so to speak, already this year. So perhaps that adds an air of familiarity as the Spartans take the field here. But Spav, you talked about winning the first down battle. How it seems to me like this is a game where time of possession is going to play a factor. If the Tigers can find a way to chew up clock and shorten this game while they have the ball and ideally while scoring, basically it's a way to keep this powerful Bixby offense off the field. I mean, this is a Bixby offense that comes in averaging almost 70 points per game, or a team. They don't score all their points on offense.
And you're absolutely right. We got to find a way to possess the football, and that's getting first downs. That's why I always say you got to win the first down battle. But when you put 9 in a box, they make it real difficult. So we need to understand that a little hitch route is as good as a run. You know, we need to really work ourselves to 3rd and 5 or less, and then it's easy to convert. But we can't do things that are going to affect our first downs, conversion, like turnovers, or just taking that shot is really risky if you think about it, because now you're 2nd and 10 if you miss it. And it's tough on this type of a defense that's very aggressive. So, screens, we have to figure out how we're going to do the screens. Draws may be effective. Don't know. It's just got so many people in the box that we got to force them to do things differently. But it's going to be interesting. But you just got to remember, a hitch is a run. A hitch route out on the side, a little 4-yard hitch is as good as a run. That's the way my boys look at it too. We need to see if we can get the ball in the perimeter as well.
Levi Hoffman will be kicking off for Bixby. Barnett back with Caden Jones to return the kick here. Bixby in their first year at the top level of high school football in Oklahoma. They've won a few state championships in a row. The kick is away, and it is into the end zone. Actually, it's about 2 yards deep out the back of the end zone. And the touchback will give the Tigers the ball 1st and 10. Spav, we talked about this some on the drive over here. Bixby runs a unique defensive front. It's effectively a double eagle. So walk us through what that is a little bit and the challenge of that.
It's a 3-4 defense. A lot of man-free pressures, but they have a 0 center, which is he's right on over the center, and the other 2 are like in 4 eyes, which are inside in the B gaps.
Here's
so
the
it
snap
makes it
on
real
1st and
difficult.
10. Throwing it deep over the middle of the field. Matthews was there with 2 steps on the defender, but the ball was just a tad overthrown that time by Owen Jones. And Spav, we saw this a little bit last week where Jones had some chances to take some shots downfield and just overthrew. Now, eventually he settled in and started hitting those. You need him to maybe hit one of those early tonight.
But with their defensive tackles, we mashed them in pretty good. They're real susceptible on the edge now. If they can't really rush or have a 3-man rush and keep containment.
Heads up, Jones splits out in the wide slot here, and they go a direct snap to Caden Jones, who runs it up the middle for a gain of about 1 yard. It'll bring up 3rd down and 9. A little trickeration in terms of the alignment that time, Spav.
Yeah, they kicked out, but then I tell you what, having that 4-eye, their alignment, makes it hard for you to get alignment on the backer, and that backer came in clean and made the play.
You got some good backers as well. Robb and Puckett are there in the middle. 5'10", 205, 5'11", 195, respectively. Motion up front. The flag flies, and it would appear this is going to be against Broken Arrow. This is a game, Spav, where you cannot make a whole lot of mistakes and expect to have success.
Cannot have.
That's one that you can overcome in theory. But if you start to stack up mistakes here, that's going to really create a problem. 3rd down and 15. No deep safety here. Motion from Barnett across the formation. Want to take a shot deep. Instead, Matthews broke off the route. Now Jones will throw it away over the near side. I think Jones thought Matthews was going to go deep. Matthews ran about a 10-yard dig. Yeah,
I saw it. Then he got flushed out of the pocket. When he went out of the pocket, he just threw it out of bounds. That's just, let's punt the football now. Now here's the difference of field position. We took the shot on 1st down, incomplete. He was wide open though, and then we end up with a 4th and 15.
Tyson Williams back to return. It's a line drive, wobbly kick, takes a Broken Arrow bounce, is caught by Williams, makes a man miss and runs forward to midfield, is brought down there. That was a brave move picking that up with the defender right in his face, but Bixby will start with the ball at midfield.
But you know, the way the ball was rolling, he did the smart thing. You just get it and just cover it up and fall down, but instead of really trying to run so much with it. Because it would have rolled another 10, 15 yards perhaps.
Spav, we talked about time of possession being important. Tigers go 3 and out, 65 seconds on that drive is all. Bixby gets the ball, having kicked off with just under 11 minutes to play in the first quarter.
And good field position, you know, obviously at midfield. So
this is a team averaging 66 points per game. They've scored 397 points as a team this year in just 6 games. Conversely, they've allowed 24 on the entirety of the season. Motion into the backfield from Jersey Rob. It is Havens, the starting quarterback, although he'll swap with Kirby quite a bit. Luke has the all-star tight end on the left side. They were looking for him, but it was broken up. Dietrich Moore stepped in there and knocked the ball away, and that'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
Well, they're the trips formation, so basically what they're doing is they're trying to lure a linebacker back in on the run fake and then throw the hitch outside. And we just happened to deflect it, which was good.
If you can get hands up in passing lanes today, that's going to go a long way. Bixby will get rid of the ball in a hurry. Here's Connor Kirby in at quarterback now. Motion into the backfield. Now they run the speed option near side. Room for Kirby. Tripped up, but keeps his footing. Across the 30. Shucks a man and is finally tripped up. Lane Condry wrapped him up around the ankles, down around the 22-yard line. We had debris fly up through our window.
I know. Well, obviously that was a nice play. They're basically, well, they're in a tight formation now.
A power eye here. 2 fullbacks and a running back. Now they switch out of it. And the quarterback was in the middle of all that. Now it's trips left on a shotgun formation. It's quarterback power left side. Connor Kirby, who rushes it for about 10 yards a pop, carries it down to around the 12-yard line. They'll be a couple yards short of the first down. Spav, he has had 2 100-plus yard rushing games this year. Quick pass left side. Screen is set up. It's caught inside the 5, and he's brought down at about the 1-yard line. That was Jersey Rob, the back out of the backfield, who was lined up out there.
They're playing numbers game on us right now. They're fast tempo. They're running a lot of quarterback game. So it's really tough to defend it to begin with because you have to defend not only the counter and powers, but you got to defend the quarterback counter and powers. And then when you start triggering people inside to help stop the run, because you got to fit another person on the quarterback, they throw it on the edge because now they have numbers on you. So they're really smart with what they do, and it makes it really difficult for us to defend.
There's a player down on the Bixby sideline. It's a Bixby player. That's Rob, the starting running back, who is walking under his own power but is hobbled. He's carried the ball for almost 500 yards this year, almost 8 yards a carry and 8 touchdowns. And you'd think that they would have inflated numbers. They play so many different guys, they really don't have that big individual numbers. Quarterback power left side. Connor Kirby takes it in. Not quite 2 minutes into the game, and Bixby's on top 6-0 with the PHE count.
With a lot of success with the quarterback game. That's what they're going with right now, because they're seeing that they have an extra man. They have one more man than we do at the point of attack, and what that does is we have to trigger other people and take a chance. And once we do, they see it. They see it, and then they're going to hit the ball on the edge. But that quarterback power, they're getting the big bodies in there.
And they got plenty of them.
Right.
Has the tight end helping lead the way on that, and the PAT on its way and good. 7-0 Bixby. 10:07 to play in the first quarter, and the light show continues. Lots of flashing lights and fancifulness here. We had a balloon, or rather a stuffed animal drop from a sponsor before the game out of a helicopter. Speaking of which, let's go down to the sidelines for the first time in Madison Dildine. Madison, were you able to catch any of those parachuting stuffed animals earlier?
I was.
Oh, Madison's cutting in and out on us a little bit. I think she said I was.
What? Not. I was not.
It's not hard no.
We saw her out there kicking those little kids around.
I got to give Madison a chance to respond to that.
I'm just
Madison,
kidding.
did you kick any little kids around? She says no. I'll answer for her. She says no.
I was just kidding.
There's a lot of interference between the far sideline and the booth up here at Bixby, so hopefully we'll get her tuned in a little bit better as we go throughout the game here. Well, the other thing that needs to get tuned in, Spav, is the Tiger offense.
Yes, I mean, we definitely do. Defense is going to have its battle to begin with. We know that. But they're a very aggressive defense. They're semi-simple with what they do. It's just difficult to run what we run. It changes our entire blocking schemes.
A line drive kick up the middle goes through the hands of Barnett. He scoops it up at the 1 yard line. He's got nowhere to go, turns on the Jets and gets out to the 10 yard line, but he's leveled there. Marking down at the 11. That came in with some pace, Spav.
Oh, I know that.
Barnett tried to field it, just couldn't get it cleanly.
Right. That's the difficulty of those squib type kicks. Those low kicks. Okay, we got both tight ends in now. So
Tigers have not rushed the ball but one time so far. There's a throw to the boundary near side. Nobody was there for it.
Communication error. Yeah.
Rummins thought he was going vertical. And Jones thought he was running a comeback route.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Somebody was wrong.
A lot of those routes are when the defender is beside you, you cut it off and run a comeback. If he's playing behind you, you keep going for the fade.
2 receivers left. Now an empty backfield as Caden Jones splits out right. Owen Jones looking over the middle, scrambling right. He can tuck it and run, and he will. Shoved from behind. Knocked out of bounds.
At the 14.
At the 14, a little bit of a tough spot. I thought he had gotten out closer to the 15. That'll bring up 3rd down and 7, which is a more manageable 3rd down than the last time around.
We definitely need to have a 5 and under because our efficiency right now on 1st down is not very good. So we really definitely need to improve on that factor because field position is a huge factor right now.
Same formation, same swab
See
here.
him coming in and then slanting.
Set up the screen, left side. Barnett has it, and he's got space. 1st down across the 20, breaks a tackle, and he's on the loose.
Yeah,
Barnett into the open field. It's a foot race to the 30. Left side 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Broken Arrow. The tunnel screen pops Barnett loose, and he goes to the house.
We were just talking about that today with Coach Blankenship. I asked him if the tunnel screen would be effective, and he wasn't quite sure. You have to time it out just right when they're running some pressure, and he timed it perfect. It was awesome.
And how about the eye candy on the right side?
Yes.
To draw the focus over there, and you set the tunnel screen up on the back side. We have a sideline warning against Broken Arrow, and it's their first, so it doesn't hurt them right now.
No.
That was an exciting play. You could see why. But Spav, that's unfortunately, he didn't keep the ball for very long, but an answer there is huge.
Yeah. Oh gosh, yes. I mean, that stuff like that keeps them on their toes. Now, when they're blitzing, they're gonna understand that we have answers to it now.
Barnett actually outran 2 of his 3 blockers, and then it didn't matter because he just outran the rest of the defense too.
Made that good move, and then he was gone.
PAT is good, and we are tied at 7 with 9:05 to play here in the first quarter. Quick strike response from the Broken Arrow Tigers. Caleb Barnett's previous long reception span was 54 yards. That play went for 89. That's got to be the longest play of the year for Broken Arrow.
Absolutely. And I tell you what, it was we were fixing to lose a lot of field position there.
Yes.
They were about to get the ball quite a bit like on the 50-yard line again, so that was real imperative that we had a play like that to go the distance. Now it keeps them out of field position.
That's one of those where he crosses the 1st down mark and you get a sigh of relief because you get a new set of downs, and then all of a sudden he takes off and goes the rest of the way.
Right.
That's even better. Now the Tigers will kick off for the first time tonight.
Yeah, they're going to think twice now of putting pressure on them when we're vulnerable, because Coach Blankship's not afraid to take a shot. We've seen that. He's not afraid to run the screens.
Spav, you mentioned field position a little while ago. How about this number? Gouldsby and Snyder are back to receive. You know what Bixby's average kick return is?
30-something yards.
34.8 yards.
Yeah.
That's out past the 40, generally speaking, on where you're going to field one in high school.
So they usually start at good field position.
Martin's kicking into the wind. It's a high kick up the far side. Caught at the 16. Out to the 20. Splits the gap, and he's out in space. That's Gouldsby across the 50. Martin's trying to slow him down. Gouldsby to the Tiger 30. Breaks a tackle, hit from behind, and spun forward to the 11-yard line. There's that danger on that kick return team.
God, was he smooth or what?
Oh, it looked like he was on skates.
But he took that ball, and he just, he found the hole and just accelerated. I mean, you don't see that very often. That's an instinctive ball player right there.
Well, and something that was impressive to me on that return is Snyder, the other deep guy, came up and threw a block that helped break that hole open. And it almost looked like a power play because he came in essentially as the fullback, cleared the hole.
Now, they have numbers. They have numbers on the edge, if you can see. It's trips.
Looking to throw right, that's Havens. Launches it towards the back of the end zone. It's well covered, but poorly played in the air. The Bixby receiver brings it down for the score.
That was a good ball, really. That was really a good ball because there was good coverage there.
Yeah, the defender was there.
Yeah.
I think it's Fugate that made the catch for Bixby, and just like that, Bixby goes right back on top.
Catch, too. I mean, that was a well-thrown ball. Well, they responded real quick.
Bixby last week, scored 28 points while only snapping the ball once. As the PAT is, check that. The two-point conversion is good. Bixby caught the Tigers in the swinging gate. They put 8 on the board, so it's now 15-7 Spartans.
Yeah.
All this in the first 3 minutes and 14 seconds of this game.
Gosh, I know.
When Bixby can score on special teams, they can score on offense, they can score on defense. Now the Tigers need to respond again, and it wouldn't, I know we've said this several times, it wouldn't hurt to see the Tigers score, but on more of a prolonged drive. Give the defense a chance to catch their breath a little bit.
Yeah.
Right now, this is, you like football games with good pace. This seems hectic and frantic so far, and I don't think that's what the Tigers want out of this game.
No. Well, the field positions are huge right now. Think about it. We started on the 20 and then the 11, the minus 20 and minus 11. They started around the 50-yard line, then around the 15-yard line or 20. I mean, that's over 100 yards, probably 125 yards of field position in just 2 drives.
In terms of scrimmage yards, the Tigers are outgaining Bixby by about 28 yards at this point, but they're down 15-8. That kick about 9 yards deep for a touchback. Bring it out to the 20. Tigers will have it 1st and 10.
Now, obviously, we need to get the ball, we've shown that right there with that tunnel screen, is getting the ball in the hands of our athletes. We have to have our athletes get the ball in space.
Cooper Bates in at quarterback. Nate Jones enters as the tailback. Tripp split out to the right side. Barnett closest to the formation. Rummins in the slot. Bates will take it himself left side on the quarterback keeper, and he's upended for a loss of 1 back to the 19-yard line. Looked like that was Jacob Snyder leading the way on the stop, the cornerback.
Yeah, they're reading things real well. You know, they know something because since we've got got Jones back in.
Owen Jones back in there at quarterback. Tripp's right still. Here's the snap. Owen Jones wanted to throw deep down the middle. Barnett's double covered, and it's incomplete, nearly intercepted. That was Dylan Haas in coverage. The twin brother of Luke. Dylan is also an Arkansas commit.
Right. Now, see, here's 3rd and 11. The conversion rate it's difficult right here. But there again, we have to take chances. But we got to understand when we need to take chances.
Rummins split out in the slot right. Matthews wide right. He's got one-on-one coverage, as does Rummins, it looks like. They drop into a zone. Deep ball up the right side. Matthews is going to have to adjust to this. He comes back for it, and he couldn't quite bring it in. Boy, there was some contact there, but not enough to get a flag thrown, apparently.
I know.
I thought Matthews was going to go up over the defender and make that play.
He couldn't get back to the ball.
On the defender hadn't turned to look at the ball yet when they made contact. I thought that one you probably could have bought a flag on, but it wasn't egregious, so we play on.
Well, you notice they didn't blitz on that situation, so we had plenty of time to throw the football.
You mentioned on the drive over here you thought they might drop into some
zone.
Some zone, and in that case, some 3 deep zones. Is the ball loose? The ball might be loose after that punt. Looks like Bixby got back on it. They'll have the ball in Broken Arrow territory to start. Cover 3 is what that looked like. Both corners dropping back.
Yeah, and that's what they do, and it's in third and long situations, they every now and then they'll drop into a cover 3 look.
And the Tiger defense looking for a stop. 15-7 Bixby. These drives are averaging about a minute each.
Well,
We're
in the
just
field
4 minutes
position
into the
again.
game.
So they have the ball inside the 50 again. That's like 3 times inside the 50-yard line.
Bixby's average starting field position at this point is the Tiger 19-yard line.
Yeah.
This one hasn't factored in just yet, though. Counter right. The quarterback run. Ooh. Coming up to make the stop that time was Jalen Franklin. Kind of sent Kirby flipping up in the air.
Yeah, he took a hit.
Still a gain of about 3. Brings up second and about 6.5 yards.
They're doing a lot of Q games, little quarterback games, so.
Motion right to left.
That's,
Dropping back, Kirby. Launching it down the field. It's a little bit overthrown.
Good coverage.
Taylor Griffin in on the coverage that time. Brings up third down and 7. This is a big chance here, Spav.
Yes. Third and long.
Bixby does not have stats on their third down percentage or their fourth down percentage on Max Prep. So this is a little bit of foreign territory in terms of what we know about Bixby. The Tigers have allowed opponents only 46% third down conversion this year. Trips left. Austin Havens in at quarterback. Some whistles. They have a timeout from Bixby, and it looks like they're going to grant Bixby the timeout before the flag.
Yeah, they were going to run the football too, because their right tackle was about to pull.
If they were going to do so, it was likely with the running back, because Havens has only rushed it 6 times as the quarterback this year.
Well, see, they had a trips formation, but the back was to the same size as the trips, which is really equal to quads, they call it. So when you have quads, you have an extra guy on that side of the line of scrimmage. So if you're going to pull the counter over that side, you're bringing another person over there too. So, and then the quarterback keeps it, that's another person. So they're outnumbering you. That's the whole thing of this offense. What they're doing is they're outnumbering you at the point of attack. They're creating another gap.
Different formation this time on 3rd and 7. Trips left. Running back to the right side of Havens, the quarterback. One receiver split right as well. The Tigers have 3 down linemen. Now Turner will motion to the left side, so you got quads left. The 3 receivers are all kind of bunched out here on the near side. 3rd and 7. Handoff straight up the middle. Met at the line of scrimmage and pushed backwards. Forced backwards as Austin Newell shoves him 10 yards back. His forward progress gave him about a yard down to the Tiger 43. We'll see if Bixby elects to go for it or if they will punt. The punt team's coming on. You got to be careful for a fake here, though, Spab.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. But what a great play by Austin. God, that was such a great play. Very aggressive.
Spav, this is game number 7 for Bixby. This will be only the 7th punt of the year for Levi Hoffman.
Oh, my gosh.
When he does punt, he's a boomer, though. 44 and a half yards per punt. The Tigers jump off sides. I don't think that's going to be a first down, but it will make it 4th and less than a yard.
Well,
that'll likely bring the
offense
offense back on. Boy, that's a mistake you can't make.
No, that was huge, huge.
Unfortunately, Bixby is very adept at moving the football. You don't need to give him any extra help. Oh, boy.
Oh, that was
They
a
marked
first
that
down.
a first down. I don't know about that.
It didn't look like
That
it.
looked like
it
it was about 5.5
wasn't it?
yards. Yeah. Well, so that moves the chains. That will not make the coaches on that far sideline very happy.
No.
1st and 10 Bixby. Boy, the Tigers got to stop. That's unfortunate. 3 receivers left again. Haven's going to throw. Under pressure immediately. Throws it right. It's caught at the 30-yard line. Inside of the 20. Right side, 10, 5, touchdown.
Wow.
Cale Fugate, touchdown number 5 on the season, his 2nd on the night. He caught a little 9-yard comeback and then just turned on the Jets.
We had pressure on the quarterback. Did a good job getting his shoulder square and throwing the ball out there. But we had pressure coming off the edge, so.
And excuse me, Kaiser was credited with the first touchdown. So for Fugate, that's his 4th of the year, first tonight.
They got a lot of speed, don't they? I wasn't sure their speed was. I knew they had speed. I didn't realize it was that much of a difference.
Kick on the way. Kick is good. 22-7 the score with 6:38 to play here in the first quarter.
Well, like you said, their starting field position's been on like the plus 19. So basically they're averaging, they have to go 19 yards to score. And we've been at the 20, and the minus 11. So we're averaging somewhere around the 15, the minus 15. So you're looking at, God, 100 yards of difference. We have to improve that.
22-7 the score. Bixby over Broken Arrow. Let's go down to the sideline and Madison Dildine. Madison.
Yeah, guys, I sat in on the running backs huddle with Coach Vince, and he said, we just got to adjust a little. It's us and that safety that make that tackle. He said, stay in it. We've got 7-ish more minutes left in this first quarter. Just stay in it, guys.
Thank you very much, Madison. And those safeties, Spav, play, 7-8 yards off the line of scrimmage. I mean, they're not deep, so they're going to be actively involved in defending the run.
Exactly.
So far, Caden Jones, 2 carries for no yards. Owen Jones, 1 carry for 3 yards. Tigers have not gotten the running game going at all yet. Kick is away. It's deep, and it'll be a touchback as it hits in the back of the end zone.
But, sometimes it's looking like we're not wanting to throw the football. It's like we're wanting to take that shot and then do something. We need to try to run the football somehow. We need to try to go back to our bread and butter stuff that we're good at. Get the 2 tight end sets, run the power and the counter, and do some things like that, and then take your shots when you need them.
The Tigers have run one play that went for 86 yards. The other 8 have gone for a total of 3. Now it's the other 9 have gone for a total of 1 as that quick screen to the left side gets pushed back 2 yards. I'll bring up 2nd down and 12.
Yeah, we're trying that tunnel screen again, but it didn't work that time. So
nowhere to go for Matthews
but
that time.
we lose 2, so we're 2nd and 12 now. We really need.
Empty set here. Quarterback run left side. Bates trying to fight his way through the line of scrimmage. He gains about a yard back. That'll bring up 3rd down and 11.
Just too many at the point of attack. The thing is, I think you need to spread your athletes out. Space is a killer. Space is a killer.
2 receivers and a tight end right. Cade Matthews lined up by himself on the left side. Again, Matthews has one-on-one coverage. Jones dropping back to pass, throwing it deep at the left side for Matthews, and he makes the catch at the left sideline.
Dropped it.
But he dropped it. Had it in his hands and dropped it. That's a good ball. That's the best ball we've seen, I think, today from Jones.
And that's what we need to do. We take advantage of those. If we're going to take the shots, we have to take advantage of it.
Spav, I've seen that play at that far sideline. Yes, you had the deep shot there. It was also one-on-one coverage. You run enough of those routes, eventually those corners are going to drop back just enough where you can maybe run a 7-yard slant instead of the deep route, and it'll be there to get caught in that way as well. Here's a bounce and a flag as a fair catch had been called for, and that'll be a delay of game. So not only will the ball stay at the 45 where it was downed, it'll also back up 5 yards due to the penalty. So the Spartans will far and away have their worst field position of the game at their own 40-yard line.
That's right. Because they've been averaging on the plus side each time. They had one on the plus 50, one on the plus 10, one on the plus 48. So with the penalty, this is going to put them around the 40.
To this point, Bixby's average starting field position has been its own 13-yard line. The Tigers have been on their have been on the Tigers' 13-yard line. That's not quite right though. It would be more like the Tiger 30.
I think so too.
Meanwhile, the Tigers' average starting field position is on its own 18.
But still having the ball here on the minus 40, that's good field position.
Oh,
because
absolutely.
your playbook opens up. You're not as restricted.
Motion into the backfield. They fake the jet sweep. Now throw the slant back to the right side. It's caught by Fugate. Breaks a couple of tackles. Brought down at the Broken Arrow 42-yard line after a gain of about 18.
That was an interesting play. You know, they're running that stretch read over here towards the boundary, and then he's keeping his eye on that receiver on the slant route, backside. Pretty effective. Now they're squeezing it up here.
Yeah, the entire 11 guys for Bixby are within about 5 yards of each other. Quick dump pass to the left side, and a nice play by Lane Condry.
And we had it covered here, too. Our corner came off. If they would have even made the play, broke that off, we were going to make the play. That was good defense.
That was Jet Turner on the reception. He lost about 6 yards on the play. 2nd down and 16 coming up. One-on-one coverage up top. Bixby in the shotgun. Here's the snap. Havens throws it near side. It is juggled but caught. And Gouldsby is knocked out of bounds at around the 40-yard line or so, 41. So that'll bring up 3rd down and 9 here.
See, that's what I like about them. For example, they're not going for the shot when it's 3rd and 16. You know, they're trying to get something, half that, in order to go for the conversion.
Connor Kirby in at quarterback here. He'll run it or pass, but he's more likely to run it than Havens, who was in a moment ago. Gouldsby in motion, curls back around the near side. Speed option to the boundary, trying to bottle it up.
Good job.
Kirby knocked down forward, a gain of about 6, down to close to the 35-yard line. It brings up 4th down and 3. Dietrich Moore led the way on the stop.
And that was that lead speed option, you know, into the boundary like they ran before earlier in the game.
Tigers have gotten stops on 7 of 8 4th down attempts this year.
They're going to hard count us now, so we got to.
Hard count didn't work. It's 4th and 3. Here's the snap. Quarterback power, right side. 1st down yardage down to the 30 and down around the 29-yard line. A gain of about 6 more. Just the 2nd 4th down converted against the Tiger defense this season.
Really?
And now 9 attempts.
Really?
The opponents were 1 for 8 on 4th down before that.
Wow.
Empty set, quick pass left side. Hit, breaks the tackle, and he's on the move across the 25 down to about the 20. Sounds like there might be a flag down on the play.
Well, they quick snapped it because they had numbers out here. They had 3 receivers, and we only had 2 people out here covering.
Flag down on the far sideline. I wonder if Bixby didn't get an illegal formation there.
That could be because they did it so quickly, you know.
Nope, illegal substitution against the Tigers. Then a false start, or an illegal formation rather, against Bixby.
Right.
So the penalty's offset, and they'll move it back to the 29-yard line.
We got to be careful, and this is something that some of the teams have done before is they get outnumbered on the perimeter. Their receivers are good blockers, so we cannot be outnumbered on the perimeter.
So is Luke Haas, who's lined up as the tight end on the right side. They run it right behind him, a gain of about 4 yards down to around the 25. No, give him 5 down to the 24. John Broll on the stop. 2nd down and 5 coming up for Bixby, and the Spartans are right back to the line of scrimmage. Empty set, quick pass left side. Caught in the slot on the screen. Turner brought down after another gain of about 5. That'll move the chains again. It'll be 1st and 10 from the Tiger 19.
Yeah. So what they're doing, if you think about it, is we're having a linebacker in the box trying to fit, and there's 2 receivers out. When they throw that,
Havens wants to throw, looking deep
We're
up the left
outnumbered.
side towards the corner of the end zone. It is broken up, I believe.
out of bounds.
Out of
Went
bounds. Okay,
he caught it. He caught it.
So
He
it
caught
was
it
caught,
pushed out.
but he was pushed out of bounds. Thankful for our spotter, Jeremy Bryan, who
Yeah.
has got a slightly different angle. One of us is blocked off by the pillar at any given time, but right now Jeremy has the he's got the eagle eye. 2nd down and 10 coming up from the 19.
See, we got to watch this now. There's the speed
Speed
option
option.
again.
Now they
Pass.
Try the dump pass. Haas is wide open, and Luke Haas makes the catch and backs his way into the end zone for the score. His 5th touchdown reception of the season.
Wow.
What is that motion called where that wide receiver comes across, essentially does a lap around the quarterback, and then heads back in the original direction?
I don't know. You can call it anything. I'm not sure what you would directly call it, but he just becomes that pitchman
That option
now.
back.
He becomes the option man. Is all he doing? All's he doing? I didn't
All
sound
he's
right.
doing.
All he is doing. So anyway, they've been running that speed option, and all of a sudden, he pulls up and throws it. It's tough.
It's almost like that little jump pass.
Exactly.
Got pressure on him too, but well-designed play gets Haas in the end zone. Yeah, Bixby had an illegal procedure, yet they haven't been backed up. And now they'll back it up 5 yards. So Bixby will try the PAT. It'll now be a 25-yard PAT attempt. 28-7, snap back, ball down. The kick is blocked. The Tigers had the ball. You can't return it, so it doesn't matter. Jalen Franklin celebrating the block, running all the way up the sideline. And the Tigers will get the ball back, trailing by 3 scores.
Yeah, we have to have an answer now. We have 0 offense, so we've got to really find something that's going to help us keep the ball out of their hands and out of their good field position.
Tigers so far, again, at this point in the game, have 88 yards of total offense. 86 of them came on one play. That big pass to Caleb Barnett that went for the score.
Screen, yeah.
Other than that, you've gained 2 yards on a total of 11 plays.
Wow.
Bixby.
And our field position is just, the field position battle
It's
is.
been a grind. Remember, Bixby has allowed 4 points per game this year. They've allowed 24 points in 6 games. So we knew it was a good defense coming in as the ball hits a yard deep in the end zone.
So we do not have a starting field position past the 20. And I tell you, it's huge because if you win the field position battle, I mean, that is, you're going to win 75% of your games if you can win that battle. That's how imperative it is.
And right now it's not even just like an advantage Bixby. It's a big advantage Bixby in that category. Quick pass left side. There we go. Caught by Matthews. Breaks the tackle. Got about 9. Out to the 29-yard line. That's a very solid gain on first down, Spav. That's different than what we've been seeing from the Tigers.
But that's what we need. We need to find an answer like that. That was perfect.
Rummins checks
They're
into
not
the game.
playing tight man.
Yeah, they're not playing press coverage.
No.
2nd down and about a half yard. Motion into the backfield. And
Must
a
be
jump
the other way.
over the middle. That's Caden Jones.
There we
Hurdles a
go.
man.
There we go.
Tigers get a first down. I think that's
Is that our first one?
technically the long pass. I think also resulted in the touchdown. I think also resulted in a first down, but that one will
There
work.
you go. Run the
handoff
football.
over the left
Run
side.
the football. Be aggressive. That's good.
On the stop, number 3, Sam McCormick.
Yeah. So give this ball to this little Jones kid, man. I mean, this kid can run now. Put him in space.
That last hole was about as big as we've seen.
I know, and he runs hard for a little guy.
Second down and 6.
There
Quick
you
pass
go.
left side. Caught by Matthews. Ushered out of bounds after a first down and a late flag.
There you go.
That'll move him another 15. The Tigers will be in Bixby territory. Because of the long touchdown, the Tigers haven't actually snapped the ball in Bixby territory tonight.
That's right. This is the first time.
Marked out at the
Because
46.
we'll get this 15-yard penalty. Yeah.
Good ball. Personal foul on Bixby, 15-yard penalty. First down, Broken Arrow.
BA has it now first and 10 from the Bixby 39. Tight end left, 2 receivers left. Tight end right as well. Here's a snap, a little reverse. Oh, a double reverse pass. Looking for the deep ball. It's well covered. Matthews leaps but can't make the catch. It's intercepted instead.
Uh-oh.
All the way to the near side comes Snyder. Across the 40, gets a block. Inside the 50, gets his helmet ripped off. The flag comes down. The Tigers trying to fight for the ball back. Bixby gets the ball back on its own side, or rather on the Tiger sideline. And now here comes a late flag as the Tigers were jawing late. We may have an ejection from the game as well from the hand motion I just saw.
Really? What was it?
Officials are pointing out. I don't know if that's an ejection or not.
He's out.
We may have an ejection from the game here. The officials have not sent anybody off yet. Nope.
They're sending him. He's got to get his helmet off, yeah.
Officials are still talking things over at the 42-yard line. Personal foul. Chop block on the Tigers. Also unsportsmanlike conduct. And he has been ejected from the game.
Franklin.
It is Jalen Franklin who's been ejected from the game.
That's big.
So Franklin will go to the locker room, I presume, unless he's allowed to stay on the sideline.
I don't know how they do that.
Now, I think he was. I think he jumped onto the field during that last kerfuffle there at the end of that play, and he was not a participant in that play. So
is that what happened?
Yeah, he came all the way across the field. He was right here by the ending festivities there.
So he wasn't even in on the play.
He wasn't in on the play, and he came onto the field.
Oh my gosh!
That's something you can't do.
No.
Well, on the bright side,
14
Taylor
yards.
Griffin's already broken up a pass, so he's played well at corner so far. Luke McGowan is in there as well. That ball was intercepted deep in Bixby territory, and now the first play will be at the 14. Of Bixby's 5 drives, 4 of them have started in Tiger territory, and 2 have started inside the Tiger red zone.
Right.
Trips right. Receiver and a tight end left. Now motion from left to right, so it's quads right. They fake the pass. Quarterback power left side. He's got blockers in front. Couldn't quite complete the block, though. Luke Has, you don't see him not complete many blocks. Tiger defensive back was able to fight off of it. That's a very nice individual play from Taylor Griffin.
Yeah, and they're good blockers, and it was a great play there, a great defensive play. We needed that.
Gain of about 6.
We need to make them earn them.
I mean, that was just Griffin standing up and making an individual play right there. That's impressive. Rolling to his right, under pressure is Havens, now scrambling all the way back to the 26. Lobs it near side, and he's got Luke Has wide open for the score. Boy, you feel for Demarius Reynolds there, who chased the quarterback 20 yards back upfield, but the coverage broke down on the back end, and Bixby's able to score.
But, you know, they seem so, they don't, I don't even know what the word I'm trying to think about. They just seem so patient, so calm. You know,
yeah, I'm now drawing a blank.
They're not panicking. You know,
I think Coach Blankenship, if I remember correctly, as the field or the PAT is on its way and good, I think he called them controlled maniacs.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point.
Everybody is playing at warp speed, but it's all everybody's exactly where they're supposed to be on every play. And what you had on that last play,
well, the quarterback
there's a flag down and an illegal procedure, so Bixby will have to kick again. We were taught, because we ran a lot of spread concepts, air raid concepts. We were taught as receivers, if the play breaks down, depending on where you are on the field, this is what you do. If you're the shallow guy, you go deep, you clear out. If you're one of the deep guys, you come back to the quarterback. You always go the direction the quarterback is moving. And that's exactly what Has did there. He saw the quarterback turn, and so he turned with him, and he came right back. And because the flow of the play was going the other way, he ended up being wide open by himself. PAT is shallow but good.
But, you know, the quarterback, you know, we had a lot of pressure on him. He countered out, and he was just, you know, he had some pressure on him, but he was just patient, and threw the ball.
When you're that poised under pressure.
Poised is the word I was thinking of right there.
It's hard to, I mean, it's just hard to get a guy rattled like that.
Exactly.
1:12 to play in the first quarter. Bixby leads Broken Arrow 35-7.
Boy, they're setting a mess. They're sending a message right now. We've got to respond now. We can't. The whole thing is now is you can't worry about the score. You can't worry about them. You got to worry about us. What are we going to do to find ourselves to get better? Just think about us and what we're doing. Forget about field position battle, finishing drives, you know, down and distance efficiencies, how explosive we are. Let's worry about us and get ourselves improved and better and keep us in the game and disciplined.
Kickoff is on its way. Caden Jones moving to his right. Oh, spun and then got leveled at the 19-yard line. He got held up around the legs, and a big kick coverage guy came in and just took him down.
Right.
Bixby
19-yard line
has only gained about 180 yards on its way, offensively on its way to 35 points, largely due to the fact that defense and special teams have covered a ton of that ground.
Right, exactly. You know, in special teams is really important in games like this, because if you can get a slight edge on it, boy, that helps you.
An interception return of about 70 yards, a kick return of 70-plus yards.
Yeah.
I mean, just right there, you got 150 yards.
That's good.
Not to mention the field position battle. Quick pass near side, miscommunication. Barnett going deep. Jones thinking he was staying short. Incomplete. We've seen that a few times tonight.
You know, that's what we're talking about. When you're on the same level, he needs to shut it down and run the deep out.
And if you're not on the same page with your quarterback on those kind of option routes, it's going to be very hard to have sustained success offensively.
Exactly.
2nd and 10. Jones throws it left side this time. A little high. looking for Cade Matthews. That'll bring up 3rd down and 10.
See, their secondary is doing a good job just keeping everything underneath. Now we have to take advantage of that because we hit a couple of out routes earlier, and those things were effective. We need to continue doing those things. But now we're 3rd and long.
Third and 10. 2 receivers left. 2 tight ends right. Jones going to launch it up the left side. Matthews has a step.
Oh.
Couldn't quite connect. That one wasn't even quite overthrown. It was thrown
just
too far to the left,
right.
too far to the outside for the route. Now, whether that was Matthews cutting the route in too far or the ball being thrown too far outside, I don't know. But the distance was there. It was just a little bit off pace accuracy-wise.
We got to kick it away from this guy.
This would be a good one to have. Well, that's not the way you wanted to do it, though. That hits at the 35 and rolls directly sideways. It'll be down to the 34-yard line. Now 5 of the 6 Bixby drives have started in Tiger territory.
Wow. The worst field position that they've had has been at
their own 40.
My own 40.
And that was because they penalized themselves on the.
I know. And everything else has been inside the 50-yard line.
You're not giving yourself much of a chance when that's the case.
Well, a lot of things we practiced on all week, they're not going to be running them because they don't have to.
Bixby, 1st and 10, a whistle and a stoppage in play. Illegal procedure on the Spartans. Oh, false start, excuse me. That'll bring up 1st and 15. So far, Bixby averaging 8.6 yards per play. The Tigers are technically averaging 6.1 yards per play, but that's a skewed number because one of them went for 86. Here's that speed option instead. They pitch it going the other way to Has. Has bounces it outside, getting a block. There's a flag that comes flying in. Luke Has runs over a few guys and eventually tiptoes out of bounds at around the 29-yard line. Spav, there are not a lot of guys that are, what is he technically listed at here? 6'3", 220 that move around guys like that.
I know. And, you know, and they're running basically a misdirection run that we actually were there to defend it, and the guy made a good move on us. They have a lot of weapons. That's the biggest thing they have, is they have a lot of weapons and they utilize all their weapons.
And you and I talked about this some on the way over here, Spad, that offensively, they're a machine. They get lined up, they identify where the advantage is numbers-wise, and they get the ball to that spot.
Yeah.
And if you are a defense trying to knock them out of rhythm, you have to be lined up perfectly. Every time.
Exactly.
You have to get pressure, find some way to get pressure on the quarterback, and you got to hold on to dear life and defend some really good athletes on the back end. I mean, it's incredibly difficult. There's a dump pass at the far side, incomplete. Real good coverage that time. Late contact, no flag. Elisha Wilson coming over in late coverage, but the corner on the far side is who provided the main coverage there, and in that case, that was Alan Scarborough.
See, we made them take a shot because it's 2nd and forever. Or 1st and forever at that time.
Fugate jogs off. Now it is 2nd and forever, 25-ish. Havens launches it up the left side. Got a man up the seam, but he overthrew him a little bit.
That's kind of like what we did to our receiver. Threw it too far over his backside shoulder.
Yep. That was Jacob Snyder. Jacob Snyder, one of 4 starting receivers depending on which formation they line up in. They've got They can start 4 receivers. They can start 3 in a tight end. They can start a couple running backs in a tight end. They can kind of do what they want. When you're blessed with this kind of depth, that makes lining up in different formations pretty easy. 3rd and very long. Kirby takes it himself right side. He's got a hole. Gets a block across the 30, inside the 25, and he's got a first down.
Yeah. See, that's all that smoke and mirrors stuff. They have so many smoke and mirrors going, and the quarterback can run the football.
And you get a couple of stops on deep shots that they took. Force 3rd and 22, and then they get 25 to move the chains on the quarterback
run.
Well, 1st and 10 Bixby from the Tiger 23. We're down to.
But they're creating mismatches. That's football to begin with. It's any sport. Basketball, you want to create a mismatch so you can score. You know, I mean.
Keep in mind, this has all happened in the first quarter. There's 13 seconds to play in the first quarter. Kirby in at quarterback. Motions a man into the backfield with him. Hands it off on the jet sweep. Now they'll pass it back. It was nearly intercepted. Kirby is swallowed up in the backfield. That was well read by the Tiger defense. Didn't bite on the misdirection, and that'll be the last play of the first quarter. 35-7, Bixby after 1. We will take a break, flip the field around, be back with more in just a moment. This is Broken Arrow Tiger football here on ArrowVision.
Special, the nuances of keeping the wheel steady, we can provide you means for you to maintain financial equilibrium. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. First people put people first. There is nothing like teaching about the rewards in life, like catching that first big fish. Now they can learn about other rewards by opening up my first savings account just for them. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. First people put people first.
Right now, get $200 from TTCU Federal Credit Union when you open a new checking account with direct deposit. What would you buy with $200?
Cars, race cars, my own apartment, 100 coloring books, and a puppy.
Or maybe some groceries and a tank of gas. $200 for whatever works for you from TTCU, because life is better in balance.
West Intermediate. Cash Bevins of middle school.
Back here in Bixby, Oklahoma, Adam Hildebrand, Steve Spavital back with you. Madison Dildine down on the sidelines for us. Bixby leads Broken Arrow at the first quarter break, 35-7. Somewhat of a roller coaster of emotions, Spav, because Bixby gets the first stop, goes right down and scores after getting good field position. The Tigers respond on 3rd down on the next drive with an 86-yard tunnel screen for a score. But since then, it has been all Bixby in just about every way you can think of, unfortunately.
Even when it's like second forever. I mean, just everything is going their way. Field position is huge for them.
Another different formation here. Tight end right, 3 receivers left, 1 receiver right on an empty set for the quarterback, Connor Kirby.
Now they're going to outnumber them, see?
Quick pass left side, looking for the screen. Makes one man miss. Inside, that's Gouldsby. Up the left sideline, cuts back in, and he'll score.
See, that was
There's a late flag in, too. That was well after the play was over. Not sure what it was.
But you saw how they outnumbered us.
Yep.
They had 3 receivers there, and we had 3 defenders. And when they motioned across the formation, we did not bring anybody with us. So they had 4, and we had 3.
Touchdown is good. Unsportsmanlike conduct called against Bixby. Must have been some sort of celebration of some sort. And you know, Spav, what's interesting to me about that play is they lined up with trips right. They had a tight end and 2 receivers right. They motioned 1 receiver to the left and get him set. So now you got 3 and 2, and then you motion the other receiver and then put him in motion and throw him the ball while he's in motion to that left side. So you started with trips right, and you end up with quads left.
Yeah.
How difficult is that to adjust to as a defense?
Well, somebody's going to have to go with it. If we're playing man, you got to run with it. If you're playing zone, we got to walk someone out of the box. you have to have someone to trigger it. If you got three wide receivers and they're blocking our three DBs, and they have another man catching the ball behind it, well, we have to have someone triggering that. It has to be within a linebacker or something has to trigger it, or we have to run another DB across with it. We got to find an answer. We cannot be a man short like that all the time because it results in touchdowns.
9 seconds into the second quarter, 42-7 Bixby.
And now we're coming to Bixby. Check out our sit and sleep location.
Brief stoppage on the field here.
1915 South Memorial Drive in the Town and Country Memorial Shopping Center at our grand opening in November. Visit our website at millshomestore.com or shop our showrooms in Oakbogie or Sepulveda.
Question for me at this point, Spav.
Or Sunday 1 to 5. Remember, there's nothing.
I guess there are many, but the main one for me is you got to find a way to show some heart here. You've already had a man get ejected. You can't be losing your head. You got to figure out a way to stick together as a team because it would be very easy at this point to fold up the tents and go home. You're likely not going to come back and win this game, but football at this point in particular, as the ball is marked back to the 25, you're out there having fun with your friends. You're playing high school football. Go out there, get some team chemistry going, and find a way to fight back at some point in this game.
That's exactly right. That's what I'm trying to say, too, is don't worry about them.
Caden Jones near side to the 30. Tumbles down around the 34 and a late hit. Freshman a little bit slow to get up as well, but he is up to his feet. It was just kind of a late dive on top of him.
But see, my whole deal is don't worry about them. Don't worry about the score. This is about us right now, just like you're saying. We have to get the heart. We need to rely on our preparation because I know Coach Blankenship had these kids prepared well. Now, mentally, if you don't have a little bit of heart, this thing's going to get way out of hand. You're going to have to really focus on getting it back into the game. But for us, not about the score or them. Just we have to get our mind back.
And for
in the
me,
game.
there's got to be a guy on the field, probably one on each side, that looks everybody else in the eye and says, "Hey, this is dumb, guys. Like we got to figure out a way to make some improvements on this." Hand off to Nate Jones, who runs through a man at the 50, falls forward to about the 48-yard line, a gain of 3. You know, there's several guys that could be on this offensive side. That could be one of those guys on the left side of the line, Chance Mark, Jameson Mejia. It could be one of the quarterbacks. It could be Nate Jones. It could be Josh Wilhite. All those guys are guys who can step up and are capable of leading this team. For the defense, I think you're looking at Dietrich Moore. You're looking at Elisha Wilson. You're looking at Austin Newell. There's plenty of guys who are capable of doing that. And I'm not saying they're not necessarily doing that, but you got to find a way to draw everybody together in this type of a situation. Hand off right side, a gain of about 2 down to the 46-yard line.
But rely on our preparation. I mean, don't just go out there and coke and joke or whatever, I mean, rely on your preparation that you've been taught. We have good coaches over there.
Barnett will split out wide right. Matthews splits out left. Cooper Bates in at quarterback. 2 tight ends to his right. That is Will Hyde along with Siebert in on the right side there. 3rd down and 5. Bates squeaking through that line of scrimmage, and he powers his way forward for a first down. That's a good run up the middle. And Spav, we talked about this some early. It's a unique front, 3-4 defense, but you got 3 guys essentially all within the guards for those front 3. How difficult does it make it to run up the middle like we just saw there with Bates?
Well, it has to run outside the tackle, outside of their defensive tackle. Now they spread it out a little bit, so it looks like they had 2-4 techniques.
Quarterback run on the empty set. He's got space over the left side. Bates lowers his shoulder, plows through about 3 defenders for a gain of 11 down to the 29-yard line. Now that's showing some heart right there. That's a good tough run.
That's what we want. Now, see, they had their 4-eye techniques there, and we ran right outside their defensive tackles, which is right over top of our tackle. So the advantages we have also is pass protection because they're jammed up in there.
Jones, the tailback to the right of Cooper Bates. Bates has been running the ball better and better over the last few weeks. He's run it for now he's running for over 300 yards on the year. Not much this time. Lost about a yard back to the 30, but Bates came in averaging more than 6 yards a carry and having scored 4 touchdowns on the ground this season. He's been an effective weapon in the run game.
Right.
He'll swap out now for Owen Jones.
Well, something was up on that one because they shifted their line to where we ran the ball, so they knew something was happening there.
That might be why we saw the personnel change here if the defense is starting to get a beat on something. Hand off to Jones, trying the right side. He's wrapped up from behind and spun down.
Linebacker run through, yeah.
Hank Puckett came through and got him.
On the stop, number 30, Hank Puckett. Also in there, number 57, Casey.
Brings up 3rd down and about 14. Tigers behind the chains, but well into Bixby territory at the 33-yard line. We're not seeing nearly as many deep shots as we were at the beginning of the game either.
No. Well, we're doing some good stuff now. We just got to.
Jones wants to throw, looking left. He briefly had Matthews open, but didn't release it in time. The pocket collapsed on him. A sack will move him back 4 more out to the 37.
He had the time, though. He had the time. It's just a slow developing route.
Cooper Bates back in at quarterback. 4th down and 18. Tigers need the Bixby 19. Bates takes the snap. He'll punt it away. Oh, he got too much on it. And flies about 5 yards deep into the end zone for a touchback. Bring up the Tiger defense, trailing 42-7 with just under 8 minutes to play.
Off the clock. Did a good job.
That was arguably the best drive of the game for Broken Arrow. I understand they didn't score, but the reason they scored was Barnett broke that big 86-yard screen pass. So in terms of sustaining a drive, that's the best we've seen from the Tigers.
Right. And with that, this is their worst starting field position on the 20-yard line.
You know what's wild, Spav? Broken Arrow is only being outgained by 97 yards. They have half as many penalties for about half as much yardage as the Spartans do. They're 2 for 6 as opposed to 1 for 3 on 3rd down. The difference is Bixby's special teams and defense and field position.
Exactly. That field position is huge. I keep talking about it, but it's huge.
Quick pass near side, caught by Gouldsby. Trying to turn the corner, out past the 25, lowers his shoulder.
So
out of bounds around the 30 for a first down.
Creating mismatches is what they're doing. They're throwing it out there because we're a man short.
And you can almost, it's unfortunate or it's tough from up here. When at the elevated level, you can almost just count guys and see where Bixby's going to put the ball.
Yeah.
Now the man advantage is going to be to the field. Here's the snap. Quarterback run to the field side. Not a lot of room that time.
But
still a gain.
But if you see what they did, they were doing the same thing they were doing where they're outnumbering us. Well, they outnumbered us, and we had a defensive back chasing that guy now because of being outnumbered, and the quarterback runs the ball.
Yeah, and so basically they pulled that defensive back out. The quarterback ran it right into the hole.
Then with the quarterback running the ball, that creates another.
Lane Condry on that last stop. Deep ball, man behind the defense. It is broken up. A good late close by Alan Scarborough to knock that ball away.
Yeah.
You know, Spav, from time to time, as a defensive back, if you're put on an island, you're going to get burned at some point.
Oh, yeah.
Can you close out and make the difference in that play? And, yes, that ball's a little underthrown, but Scarborough did a nice job sticking with the play and closing back out on that wide receiver. 3rd and 5. Whoa, there's some funky motion going on here. Trips right. 2 guys on the line of scrimmage, so.
Yeah, they're in an empty, so.
Number 8 can't catch the football here. He can't go out on a route. Well, now they'll motion it back in. That was unique. Bixby might have confused themselves there. They'll take a timeout.
It looked like the coach was trying to change it. They wanted him to do something, and then once they look over at the coach, then he changed it, and then he just didn't have enough time.
7:17 to play, second quarter, 42-7 Bixby.
This would be nice if we can get a good stop right here and force them to punt.
The tough part here is, Spav, it's really closer to 3rd and 4. Bixby is averaging 9 yards a carry. And I need my calculator. 45 divided by 18, 8 yards per pass attempt.
Yeah.
So, on average, 3rd and 4, this is one that Bixby is probably almost expecting to get here and convert. Trips left, 2 receivers, well, 1 receiver and a tight end right. Empty set.
Now see, they're unbalancing it now.
And they'll do quarterback run, right side, and he just got enough for the first down. A nice open field tackle by Alan Scarborough, who's really played pretty well in replacement of Jalen Franklin.
Yeah. Well, they're making you have to adjust so much because when they shifted everybody, you have to make another adjustment. Then when they motion somebody, you have to make another adjustment. So they're making you put your eyes somewhere else, and then they're attacking you away from that.
1st and 10.
Counter.
They're going to dump pass over the middle. It's nearly intercepted. Luke Haas was on the dig right over the middle. The ball was thrown well behind him, and Elijah Wilson nearly snuck in there for it. Spav, this is a Bixby offense that has been incredibly balanced all season long. 1,377 yards rushing, 1,366 passing. So they're within 11 yards running the ball and throwing the football. Tonight they're separated by about 45 yards to this point in time. But you know, when a team has that kind of balance, how challenging is that defensively?
Oh, it's tremendous challenge. You know, and then it's a challenge of just trying to figure out all the adjustments you have to make on one play.
Looking to pass again. Pass near side, and it's broken up. Is that Scarborough again? It is. Alan Scarborough with the PBU. That's a great break on the football there. He's broken up a couple passes just on this drive.
That's right. But see, this is what people don't see, how difficult it is to defend this, because on each play, there's probably 3 or 4 adjustments that you have to make defensively, and that's what makes it tough.
Dietrich Moore lined up over a wide receiver, but it looks like he's got blitzing on his mind. Now they shift out of it.
See, now there's another adjustment, see.
Fugate makes trips on the left side. Tight end right, running back right. Here's the snap. Looking left, throwing left. Over the middle, it is caught at the 32-yard line. When that ball was in the air, I thought the Tigers were going to have a chance to make a play on it.
At least knock it down, but
Griffin was waiting on the ball as the corner there, and the receiver essentially cut him off and quote-unquote intercepted the ball from Griffin, who was really in the better position to catch it to begin. Pressure up the middle, a lob up the far side, and it's intercepted by the Tigers. Griffin gets one after all, up the right side across the 30 and knocked out of bounds at the Tiger 32.
Job. Well, those last 2 passes have been kind of funky.
They were floated a little bit, but part of that, Spav, is he had pressure in his face both times.
I know, twice, that's right.
And that's not been the case most of the night.
Right.
He's been able to stand back there. Tigers finally got some pressure on him and forced a couple of poor throws.
Exactly. Because the previous, not that one, but the previous one, it's like he threw it sidearm.
Well, the Tigers take over on their own 33.
33-yard line, first down, Tigers.
See how they're bunching it in there in the middle.
Hand off to Caden Jones, trying to get to the corner. He did initially, but then another cornerback came up and was able to make the tackle in space. He got 3 on the carry out to the 36. Timeout on the field. Is there a player down? No, Will Height was a little slow to get up. He's jogging off under his own power, though.
Okay, I see.
Six minutes to play in the first half. 42-7, Bixby leading Broken Arrow. 2 receivers right to the field side. Tight end left, running back left. Quarterback run left side. There was a hole there initially, but then about 6 bodies all gathered together to clog it up. Still a gain of a couple for Cooper Bates.
Well, what they do defensively, which is pretty sound, is the fact that they're bunching up the defensive linemen or bunching up the middle, and they're fitting the linebackers downhill really fast, and they're not giving you much running lanes, not giving you much options. You have to run it here, and they're going to fit it right. Now they're slanting the linemen now.
Pass to the far side. Barnett was there, but it's overthrown out of bounds. That'll bring up 4th down and 5.
See, as simple as they are defensively, people say, is when you look at them, they're bunching the middle, and then next thing you know, they widen it a little bit, and next thing you know, they're slanting it. They're doing different things, and it's creating difficulties for your offensive linemen for protection and who to block sometimes.
Punt team is on the field, and this is a candidate to be the worst starting field position for Bixby in the game. They did a nice job punting it away from the returner, and it rolls out of bounds, clear back at the Bixby 21. Yeah, it's pretty good execution right there, Spav.
Yeah, exactly.
Punt will go out of bounds at the Bixby 21-yard line. First down, Spartans.
Well, Bixby will take over 1st and 10 from its own 21. Let's take a look here. The previous worst starting field position for Bixby
was the 20.
Yeah, it was its own 20.
Mm-hmm. So now it's 21, so
back-to-back in fairly normal starting field position territory.
That's right.
5:02 to play. It's not a coincidence, Spav, that last drive that started on the Bixby 20 is the only drive for Bixby that didn't end in a score.
That's right. That's his.
Give your defense a chance. End around, toss to the near side. Jet sweep. Uh-oh, he's out in space. To the 40, to the 50. Breaks the tackle. Inside the 35 and tricked up from behind as again Alan Scarborough comes in and makes a play.
Wow.
That dude is all over the field right now.
He is. Defensively, he's making tackles left and right.
He's undersized compared to Franklin, who he replaced on the field. 3 inches shorter, listed as 5 pounds lighter, but he's flying around making plays right now. 1st and 10 from the Tiger 30. Long pass up the right side. Scarborough fighting for it. He might have picked that off. No, it's wrestled away. No, it is. It's intercepted. Tiger football. That's a touchback, and it's Tiger football. Alan Scarborough gets the pick.
Well, he was already on the ground. The crowd is booing, but it's.
I think the complaint from the Bixby crowd is that they wanted it to be dual possession, but I think Scarborough had that first and then had it wrestled away from him, and there is a difference. Alan Scarborough getting the interception.
But
he's
the
broken
official
up
was right there, too.
Yes, official was on the spot. Scarborough's broken up at least 2 other passes and now has an interception to his credit. He's got a couple nice open field tackles. He's playing really well.
Right.
He has been a bright spot in what has been an otherwise pretty rough game for this Tiger team. Bixby fans still letting their opinions be known. Whoa.
Oh, that was
something goofy happened there. I don't know if that was a mistimed snap or a bad snap, but it rolled back to the quarterback.
No flag, so
Tigers were able to get on it. Must have been a mistimed
snap. Was it the center that moved?
I think the center snapped the ball before anybody else was planning on it.
I gotcha.
And there has been a swap there. The Tigers moved Ross Martin there about halfway through the game last week, and he started there today, switching with Ricardo Fernandez. Martin had been the right guard. Fernandez the center. They swapped spots in the lineup.
See how they're stemming their linemen a lot. They're stemming them. They're moving them from left to right and stemming them to inside shades to outside shades. Really creates difficulty for your protection.
Handoff up the middle. Caden Jones dropped the football. Bixby's on it at the 20. Fighting for extra yardage.
Yeah.
He got hit by about 3 or 4 guys. Eventually one of them knocked the ball loose. So the Tigers forced the turnover, but then unfortunately gave it right back.
In good field position. So the ball's on the plus 20.
That is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Bixby drives that have started in Tiger territory and 3 that have started in the red zone.
Right.
42-7
And as
Bixby.
explosive they are, as explosive as they are on offense, that's just a killer.
Yep. 2 receivers right, 2 left, 1st and 10. Tigers showing blitz, here it comes. Whistle and a stoppage. Delay of game against Bixby. Tigers working with 3 down linemen at the moment. Motion around the back of the backfield here. They throw the bubble screen right side. Looking for the edge. It's not there. He's pushed back.
Good play.
Elisha Wilson comes up to make the stop. Snyder on the catch.
That was a good play on us because they had the numbers there.
Spav, we talked about it earlier. The key to this game, if Broken Arrow was going to get stops, was flying around to the edge. We have a whistle. Oh, some late theatrics as well. What'd you see, Spav?
Well, we only had one guy over there with trips, and then we ran one over. So
that's why the Tigers took the time out there.
Yeah, because that's why they threw the ball over there. Because they had the numbers. They had twice the numbers.
You're going to have to be lined up perfectly every time.
It's
hard when they're throwing this many formations at you. But 2, we knew the Tigers were going to have to fly around defensively. We're seeing more of that as of late. These last few drives, they've been doing a better job getting out there to the outside. But unfortunately, Bixby has continued to find a way to find the numbers advantage.
You know, and sometimes it appears the way I'm talking that like it's easy. It's not easy to play defense on this type of an offense. I'm telling you, it's not easy at all. I was a defense coordinator for a lot of years, and I'm seeing all kinds of things out there. But then you got, I think, how could I stop it? Easier said than done.
Well, even
it's easier for me to say, hey, we're outnumbered. We need another guy over there.
Right.
Well, then once you put another guy over here, then the quarterback run game comes over here.
And the tough thing is you got to, for the active coaching staff, which is to our box on the left, you got to see that up here. You relay that down to the sideline. Then you got to relay that to 11 guys out on the field.
Exactly.
And if any one of those guys is out of position, you're in big trouble.
But then they're making you make an adjustment 2 or 3 times every play.
So all 11 guys had to be adjusting
right now,
on the
here's
fly.
an adjustment right now. Now here's another adjustment.
You got to communicate. Well, the ball's on the ground. It's loose. I think Bixby got back on it. No, it's an incomplete pass. They say they tried the shovel pass forward, and that's a lot of the reason that play is run the way it is, Spav.
Right.
On those quick jets like that is because if you shovel pass it forward and you fumble it like that, it's an incomplete pass by rule.
That was old Leach ball. That was Leach ball. That was Leach ball 101.
It's smart. Reduces a lot of the risk. 3rd down and about 13 here. Bixby going to throw it. Havens right side. It's deflected but caught anyway. And then he lost the ball at the 15 and the flag comes down.
What was the flag, I wonder?
Dietrich Moore is down. Looks like cramping, and I think it's going to be a face mask against Broken Arrow on the penalty. Boy, that was deflected and still fell into his hands.
Pass is complete to number 9, Fugate.
Oh, face mask, yeah, I can see it now.
Personal foul, face mask on Broken Arrow.
Yeah, that'll be a 1st down. Where the ball was caught, it would not have been a 1st down, but the face mask will make it a 1st down.
Official timeout on the field.
We got a timeout for Dietrich Moore, who's down again. Looked like maybe a cramp. Hopefully that's the case.
Yeah, it looks like it's cramps.
If you're just joining us, with 3:07 to play before halftime, Bixby leads Broken Arrow 42-7. The Tigers went 3 and out on their first drive. They've gone 3 and out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the 9 times they've had the football. But it's pretty well been all Bixby from the get-go. It was 35-7 at the end of the first quarter. The Tigers have done a better job here in the second quarter. They've gotten a couple of stops, gotten a couple of interceptions, been able to hold the ball for a little longer. Broken Arrow has actually, believe it or not, winning the time of possession battle by about 2 minutes right now.
Well, they score so quick.
Well, it's when you are getting the ball in your opponent's red zone, 20% of the time that it leads to quicker scores.
Last week they scored 3 or 4 touchdowns, and they only ran one offensive play.
Right.
They had a punt return, a kickoff return, or something.
Pistol set here. Havens has a back behind him, hands it off over the right side. Good hole, inside the 5, touchdown. Jet Turner.
On a counter play.
Turner in for his first time today. 4th time on the season. Jersey Robb, their leading scorer on the ground, went out with an injury a little bit earlier, and we've not seen him return.
Yeah.
48-7 the score with 3 minutes to play before halftime. The swinging gate will close up. Snap back, ball down, kick on the way, and it is good. 49-7 the score with 2:56 to go in the first half. We'll see what the Tigers can do with these last few minutes before halftime.
Yeah.
You'd like to see Bixby not have the ball again before half.
Exactly. We need to really focus on getting the ball on the edges, on those out routes, getting the things, getting the ball in space to our athletes. We need to find some answers. What we're doing is not really effective, so let's try to do something different. Go to your plan B. I've been in games where I've been in plan F. I mean, it was like way down the line. I mean, things just don't work. You got to keep them going. But you can't quit. You got to keep fighting.
The Tigers are averaging 2 yards a carry. Cooper Bates has been okay, 3.8 yards a touch. Caden Jones, 2.8. Kick is away and will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Nate Jones just 3 carries for 2 yards. Broken Arrow stayed fairly balanced, Pat. They've run it 17 times, thrown it 15.
Right.
But only completed 4 of those 15 attempts.
Well, because we're taking the shots. We're taking those shots, and those are real risky.
Shotgun set, really a pistol with 2 tight ends. Handoff up the middle. There's a big hole on the cutback to the left side, but couldn't find it. It'll be no gain to the 20-yard line.
They just keep everything restricted and linebackers downhill. It's just difficult.
Puckett on the stop. Brings up 2nd down and 10 for the Tigers.
2 receivers left.
They're playing zone now, so.
Bates in at quarterback. Most of the starters still out there defensively for Bixby as we play late in the 2nd quarter. There's a tunnel screen left side. Barnett makes a couple of guys miss. He's in open space again. Out to the 30 and punched out of bounds at around the 32-yard line. I was wondering when we might see that again.
I know, good play.
That might be the first one since that touchdown.
It's just scary when he has the ball,
Well, and you see the vision for Barnett there, because the first time he ran it, he didn't have blockers in front, so he just turned on the jets and ran. That time he saw those blockers and he was able to follow them and kind of weave his way across the field for extra yardage. With the zone defense, it's going to be harder to bust one of those really big. Handoff, right side. Nate Jones just continually running into the backs of guys, but eventually able to power his way forward for about 3 yards. He could never find the hole.
I know. It was just.
It's like one of those Tom and Jerry cartoons where Jerry's trying to run into the mouse hole, but he keeps missing and just smacking into the wall.
But that was good. I mean, it was a 4-yard gain. That's exactly what we need. That was extra effort. And they were coming with a little pressure then as well.
Tigers will stack 2 receivers on the left side. Matthews up front. Rummins behind him. Now Rummins goes in motion across the formation. Looking for the wheel
good.
route near side. And
that's
Matthews is
come on,
drugged down
flag
from
that.
behind. Holy cow. I mean, that is defensive holding plain
Oh
as
my
day.
gosh.
I'm not. I mean, it's not going to change the outcome of the game here. It's 49-7, but we're still playing football here.
Oh my gosh, that was blatant foul. And they're not going to call that? Oh my gosh. That was a great play, though. It was a great play.
Should have been rewarded for taking the shot there. This has been. I'll be honest. This has been a really good crew tonight. That one was missed.
Yes.
And that happens. 1:43 to play. 49-7. Bixby leading Broken Arrow. We got a timeout on the field.
Got about 3rd and 7, so it's kind of like, what is our answers? We had a good answer there on the double move route out here. Should have had an interference call. Now, you know.
Do you treat this as 4-down territory at this Spav?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I know you're on your own 36.
You have to. You have to.
Find a way to at least get 4 or 5 here. And
yeah, or you know, you hate to punt it because their punt return guys good.
Able to punt
They
it away
have
from them
athletes
successfully
everywhere.
last time. You're right. They do have athletes everywhere. Third down and 7 here. The Bixby defense is on the field. Tiger offense just breaking the huddle. Cade Matthews will split out to the near side. We'll have trips, including the tight end, Will Height, on the near side.
Okay.
Barnett in the middle. Here's the snap
They're
on 3rd and
manning it
7.
up.
Nope. Bates running for his
Oh,
life, throws it
God.
almost to us. That lands 10 rows up in the stands. He made darn sure he threw that one away, and here comes the punt team on the field. Whatever he was looking for, he knew immediately that it was not there.
Yeah, well, you could see they came with a lot of pressure, and they dropped down and played really tight man. They weren't going to give you anything. They weren't going to give you anything short. They weren't going to give you anything at all.
I will say, that was a very tight spiral that he threw into the 10th row there. It had a lot on it. Might have been some frustration behind that throw out of bounds, too. There's a good punt that's away. That's a great kick. Caught at the 24-yard line, spins off of a man. Breaks another tackle out to the 30, and out of bounds at around the 31. 1:28 to play before halftime, and Bixby threatening to hang a 5 on the first number on the scoreboard before the halftime break.
Yeah, I got a minute 28. I mean, they have 1 timeout left. Okay. But since it's before half, this is a good time, and you hate to say, even though the score is to work on your 2-minute offense. You got to find ways to do it because you get in the playoffs, these are going to win games.
Well, and then Spartans, quite frankly, haven't had a whole lot of reasons to go to their 2-minute offense, so might as well give it a shot. Jet pitch to Goolsby around the near side. Breaks a tackle across the 40, spins off another man. Now he's stacked up. Brought down after a gain of right around 10 yards.
We got 2 guys who ran into each other, looked like.
That's not helpful. And they're both down back around the 37-yard line. Lane Condry is one of the players that's down. Condry is up. Walking off under his own power.
It's like they got. They kind of ran. They were just over aggressive. They ran into each other.
Haven't been able to figure out who that other player is just yet. They've got him sitting up at this point. That's Scarborough. Boy, you hate to see that as well as he's played since entering the ball game. Remember, unfortunately, Jalen Franklin was ejected from the game in the first quarter. Alan Scarborough has come in his place and been really, really good. Got a couple pass breakups, an interception, a couple open field tackles. He's been very strong. So now it's McGowan and Griffin in as the corners. One of those guys is playing opposite of where he's used to playing. I don't remember. I think McGowan and Griffin are usually the boundary guys, so Griffin is the guy to the field side right now, which I think is his unnatural side corner-wise. Bixby wants to throw it, sitting back, now dumping it up the near side. It is caught on the run inside the 30-yard line. That was a dime from Austin Havens.
But that's, again, keeping the poise, that word poise. He was under a lot of pressure.
And what's crazy about that, Spav, is he had Gouldsby wide open in the left flat, just waiting for the ball. But he had his head about him enough and knew where the pressure was enough that he knew he could keep that outlet and not just chuck it over there just yet. Gouldsby in motion again. They hand it off this time. Right side, big hole up the middle to the 20. Cuts back inside to the 15, now to the 10. Stumbling forward is Jet Turner down to around the 6-yard line. Another big gain for the Spartans.
First and goal, Bixby.
Well, the good news is Scarborough at one point was heading to the locker room. He's now heading back to the sideline, so that's a positive. Handoff over the right side. That's Jet Turner again. Dietrich Moore leading the way on the stop. Turner down to about the 3-yard line. Clock under 35 seconds before halftime.
Brings up second down and goal from the 3.
Second and goal from the 3. 21 seconds remaining. Fake handoff. Quarterback play, right side. Havens takes it in for his first rushing touchdown of the season. Only his 7th carry on the year. And he scores it from 3 yards out. 55-7 Bixby with 16 seconds to play before half.
And that's what makes it tough, like we're talking about, is because here they're running the power, and then all of a sudden they run the quarterback power. And then they're bringing motion across, and it's just making you move your front and doing some really tough stuff for your defense to adjust to.
Snap back, ball down. Kick is good. 56-7. We knew the Spartans were good coming in, Spav.
Yep.
I think we knew they certainly had been a dominant team over the course of the season, and you hoped Broken Arrow would be able to put up a fight, but I mean, this team is every bit as good as advertised, and maybe then some on top of it.
Oh, exactly. We're seeing a really impressive, well-coached team here, talent-wise. They're so talented.
And there are teams.
Every position.
There's teams at the IMG Academy and stuff like that probably have, 4, 5, 6 Power 5 commits and that sort of a thing. But in terms of top to bottom, every guy being where they're supposed to be on every play, I can't imagine there's a whole lot better teams in the country. I mean, I'm sure there's a few.
The receivers are good. Their punt returners good. Their kickoff returners are good. Everybody that you kick to or whatever is dangerous. Receivers can run the football. They got a tight end that's unbelievable.
They got a kicker that's constantly kicking it into the end zone for touchbacks.
They've got strengths everywhere, and it makes it even tougher for you to play against when they're doing things that are just difficult to defend. Well, let's go into halftime.
It's got to feel like, a little bit just like somebody's stacking rocks on your back while you're trying to do push-ups or something. Like, just one at a time, steady, constant pressure, just getting tougher and tougher and tougher. Last play of the half, most likely. Option pitch like that on the outside to Barnett. He's tripped up right at the line of scrimmage. Brought down for no gain. Speed option with Barnett as the option back. I like that a lot. That will end the first half. 56-7. Bixby on top. And the Tigers with 144 yards of offense in the first half, 86 of which came on one play, and 98 of which have come through the receiving hands and quick legs of Caleb Barnett. Bixby, meanwhile, 410 yards in the first half.
Wow.
That's not even including the kickoff return that went for 70+, the interception return that went for 70+, and they've penalized themselves for nine times for 78 yards in the first half.
Correct. I'd see they're winning.
Let's go.
They're winning all the battles.
Let's see if we can go down to the sideline here in a moment. See whether or not we'll have that. We're still having a tough time, so we will skip that, it sounds like, for this half, but that'll do it for the first half of play and our first half of coverage. 56-7, Bixby on top of Broken Arrow. We will take a break. This is Broken Arrow Tiger football on ArrowVision.
While you are teaching someone special the nuances of keeping the wheel steady, we can provide you means for you to maintain financial equilibrium. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. First people put people first. There is nothing like teaching about the rewards in life, like catching that first big fish. Now they can learn about other rewards by opening up my first savings account just for them. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. First people put people first.
Right now, get $200 from TTCU Federal Credit Union when you open a new checking account with direct deposit. What would you buy with $200?
Cars, race cars, my own apartment, 100 coloring books, and a puppy.
Or maybe some groceries and a tank of gas. $200 for whatever works for you from TTCU, because life is better in balance.
Recently, you've had to put your life on hold, and we're with you in this. At Ascension St. John, we're now open for appointments, and we are fully prepared for your safety and our care. As we open our doors again, our doctors, nurses, and care teams will continue to wear personal protective equipment. We've taken even more steps to clean and stringently disinfect all areas. We will maintain distancing in our waiting rooms, and will continue to limit visitors. And we will still screen all staff to protect their health and yours. Our emergency rooms are here 24/7. Please do not delay care. We're still delivering babies and performing surgeries. And we're open for your appointments, from specialists and surgical care to routine care and health screenings. Ask us about virtual visits. Ascension St. John continues to care for you, as we have been for almost a century. Thank you for trusting us.
Since Broken Arrow Public Schools' founding, our schoolhouses have taken on many shapes, sizes, and locations around our beautiful city. The bricks and beams of those facilities makes them schoolhouses, but it's not what makes Broken Arrow home. A home is made of hopes and dreams. It's because of you, your hopes and your dreams, and your ability to make the hopes and dreams of our students come true. That's why BA is home.
There's no place like home. There's no place like home. I feel it deep in my soul. There's no place like home.
of you, there is no other place I'd rather call home. And always remember, the best is yet to come.
Ooh, there's no place like home. Ooh, there's no place like home.
If you and your family have been waiting for the perfect time to jump into your dream home, it's here. We make buying a new home as easy as it is exciting with quick credit approvals and great rates. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. First people put people first.
Right now, get $200 from TTCU Federal Credit Union when you open a new checking account with direct deposit. What would you buy with $200?
Cars, race cars, my own apartment, 100 coloring books, and a puppy.
Or maybe some groceries and a tank of gas. $200 for whatever works for you from TTCU, because life is better in balance.
Isn't it nice to know that you can spend your weekend any way you like? We have convenient e-bank products such as online banking, mobile deposits, mobile banking, and account alerts, just to name a few. E-bank, whenever, wherever, whyever. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. First people put people first.
Recently, you've had to put your life on hold, and we're with you in this. At Ascension St. John, we're now open for appointments, and we are fully prepared for your safety and our care. As we open our doors again, our doctors, nurses, and care teams will continue to wear personal protective equipment. We've taken even more steps to clean and stringently disinfect all areas. We will maintain distancing in our waiting rooms, and will continue to limit visitors. And we will still screen all staff to protect their health and yours. Our emergency rooms are here 24/7. Please do not delay care. We're still delivering babies and performing surgeries. And we're open for your appointments, from specialists in surgical care to routine care and health screenings. Ask us about virtual visits. Ascension St. John continues to care for you, as we have been for almost a century. Thank you for trusting us.
Since Broken Arrow Public Schools' founding, our schoolhouses have taken on many shapes, sizes, and locations around our beautiful city. The bricks and beams of those facilities makes them schoolhouses, but it's not what makes Broken Arrow home. A home is made of hopes and dreams. It's because of you, your hopes and your dreams, and your ability to make the hopes and dreams of our students come true. That's why BA is home.
There's no place like home. Ooh, there's no place like home. I feel it deep in my soul. There's no place like home.
Because of you, there is no other place I'd rather call home. And always remember, the best is yet to come.
There's no place like home. 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 I feel it deep in my soul. I feel it, it's all I know. I feel it deep in my soul. There's no place like home.
While you are teaching someone special the nuances of keeping the wheel steady, we can provide you means for you to maintain financial equilibrium. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. First people put people first. There is nothing like teaching about the rewards in life, like catching that first big fish. Now they can learn about other rewards by opening up my first savings account just for them. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. First people put people first.
Right now, get $200 from TTCU Federal Credit Union when you open a new checking account with direct deposit. What would you buy with $200?
Cars, race cars, my own apartment, 100 coloring books, and a puppy.
Or maybe some groceries and a tank of gas. $200 for whatever works for you from TTCU, because life is better in balance.
Recently, you've had to put your life on hold, and we're with you in this. At Ascension St. John, we're now open for appointments, and we are fully prepared for your safety and our care. As we open our doors again, our doctors, nurses, and care teams will continue to wear personal protective equipment. We've taken even more steps to clean and stringently disinfect all areas. We will maintain distancing in our waiting rooms, and will continue to limit visitors. And we will still screen all staff to protect their health and yours. Our emergency rooms are here 24/7. Please do not delay care. We're still delivering babies and performing surgeries. And we're open for your appointments, from specialists and surgical care to routine care and health screenings. Ask us about virtual visits. Ascension St. John continues to care for you, as we have been for almost a century. Thank you for trusting us.
Since Broken Arrow Public Schools' founding, our schoolhouses have taken on many shapes, sizes, and locations around our beautiful city. The bricks and beams of those facilities makes them schoolhouses, but it's not what makes Broken Arrow home. A home is made of hopes and dreams. It's because of you, your hopes and your dreams, and your ability to make the hopes and dreams of our students come true. That's why BA is home.
There's no place like home. There's no place like home. I feel it deep in my soul. There's no place like home.
Because of you, there is no other place I'd rather call home. And always remember, the best is yet to come.
There's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like there's no place like home. I feel it deep, my soul. I feel it, it's all I know. I feel it deep in my soul. There's no place like home.
If you and your family have been waiting for the perfect time to jump into your dream home, it's here. We make buying a new home as easy as it is exciting with quick credit approvals and great rates. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. First people put people first.
Right now, get $200 from TTCU Federal Credit Union when you open a new checking account with direct deposit. What would you buy with $200?
Cars, race cars, my own apartment, 100 coloring books, and a puppy.
Or maybe some groceries and a tank of gas. $200 for whatever works for you from TTCU, because life is better in balance.
Isn't it nice to know that you can spend your weekend any way you like? We have convenient e-bank products such as online banking, mobile deposits, mobile banking, and account alerts, just to name a few. E-bank, whenever, wherever, whyever. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. First people put people first.
Recently, you've had to put your life on hold, and we're with you in this. At Ascension St. John, we're now open for appointments, and we are fully prepared for your safety and our care. As we open our doors again, our doctors, nurses, and care teams will continue to wear personal protective equipment. We've taken even more steps to clean and stringently disinfect all areas. We will maintain distancing in our waiting rooms, and will continue to limit visitors. And we will still screen all staff to protect their health and yours. Our emergency rooms are here 24/7. Please do not delay care. We're still delivering babies and performing surgeries. And we're open for your appointments, from specialists and surgical care to routine care and health screenings. Ask us about virtual visits. Ascension St. John continues to care for you, as we have been for almost a century. Thank you for trusting us.
Since Broken Arrow Public Schools' founding, our schoolhouses have taken on many shapes, sizes, and locations around our beautiful city. The bricks and beams of those facilities makes them schoolhouses, but it's not what makes Broken Arrow home. A home is made of hopes and dreams. It's because of you, your hopes and your dreams, and your ability to make the hopes and dreams of our students come true. That's why BA is home.
There's no place like home. There's no place like home. I feel it deep in my soul. There's no place like home.
Because of you, there is no other place I'd rather call home. And always remember, the best is yet to come.
There's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like there's no place like home. I feel it deep, my soul. I feel it, it's all I know. I feel it deep in my soul. There's no place like home.
Around the clock, throughout eastern Oklahoma, we're devoted to improving the health of our communities, our homes. We are your friends and neighbors. We are the people of St. Francis.
My bank knows my name and my business. They don't try to sell me a one-size-fits-all approach. My bank tailors their services to meet my specific needs. They've been there every step of the way as my business has grown. And their customer service is incredible. They move mountains to make sure my business banking goes smoothly. My bank is a difference maker with my business. My bank is neighbor. We're out here. The Hillside High School Athletic Field. For your friends and neighbors.
And we make our home
in the green country.
Look here, we run.
And fit. And fly.
We enjoy the mountains. And lakes. So we know how important staying active is here. Staying active is here.
We're listening.
And therapy.
Our groundbreaking treatment.
And helping you heal faster.
Helping you heal faster. We're Advanced Orthopedics of Oklahoma.
And we're the team divisions for more universities. More high schools. And more pro teams than all other providers combined.
We're focused on providing you personalized orthopedic care. Personalized orthopedic care.
Putting the area's best team.
And the athletes in all of us. And the athletes in all of us.
Another one. Yes, there was. No. Yes, there was. No.
Okay. Go to your room.
So, do you guys like this set, or you want to look into something else?
Yeah, I like it. Kids, what do you think?
Whatever. Can we go home now?
Yeah, we'll take it, man.
Okay. I'll just go write it up.
Neil, we make your house a home. Even if you're not home.
Welcome back to Bixby, Oklahoma. Adam Hildebrand back with you. Steve Spavital to my right, Madison Dildine down on the sidelines. 56-7 at the halftime break. Bixby over Broken Arrow, and to put a little salt in the wound, Spav, Bixby gets the ball to start the second half.
Yeah, you know, the first half was just disaster as far as with field position, you know, our adjustments, you know, penalties, some timing on some of our routes and stuff. There's a lot of things that we need to work on right here.
It's a high kick up the far side. Bixby breaks a tackle across the 40 and out near the 45-yard line. And again, that 35-plus yard average on kick returns playing in a big factor.
See, that's a high onside too. And
in theory, that one is coverable.
Yes, you shouldn't allow them to have that much of a return.
Ball be spotted at the 42-yard line. First down, Bixby.
42-yard line for Bixby. But they are in their own territory. 1st and 10 for the Spartans. That was interesting. They sent the line and the tight ends out. Now here come all the skill
personnel
guys.
groups in a huddle.
More on that in just a moment. Alan Scarborough banged up at the end of that first half. He is not in to start this second half of play. Havens hands it off at the middle. The back is clotheslined and flung down for a loss of about 5 yards. Newell comes through to lead the way on the stop.
And off goes number 15.
Yeah.
That was Bodie Carroll on the play. On the carry, that is. Brings up 2nd down and 14. Spav, I want to go back to that personnel thing in just a moment after this play. 2nd and 14. Want to throw it right side. It's nearly intercepted. That could have been a pick six.
I know.
For Lane Condry. All right, what's the idea? What's the goal behind keeping your skill guys over to the side like that?
You can't make adjustments.
As in the defense, the opponent can't make the adjustments.
It's not like college where you have to give them time, whatever, so much. It's just you have all your personnel groups in there, so you've got all your ready to go, and then you have to run it on, and they're going to be able to change personnel groups very easily.
Pressure coming on 3rd and 15, thrown across the left side. It's incomplete, a little low. Havens under pressure.
4th down.
And there's I was looking, Spad, to see who was coming off the line here. That's the starting 5 up front offensively for Bixby. And so the Tigers getting pressure against the starting lineman there. That's a positive.
Right.
This is interesting here. We've not seen a punt from Bixby today. Now they were motion. Now they'll switch over. The Tigers were a little late to line up against it at first there, but
see, everything they do requires an adjustment.
Elisha Wilson back to return as opposed to Caleb Barnett, who's usually back there. It's a line drive of a kick. It is scooped up off the bounce, lost, and Bixby has it at the 34-yard line. Wilson tried to catch it on the short hop, kind of like a shortstop that gets the ball right up underneath him. Couldn't get it cleanly, and the Tigers turned the ball over at their own 33-yard line.
See, here they're having all their personnel groups in. So defensively, you cannot make a defensive call until you see what personnel group's in the game. So you have it all there in the huddle. So now they break out. Now the defense can make a call. Now, if you hurry that or disguise it, it makes it tougher.
Defense came out and forced what would have been the only 3 and out of the game for Bixby. But then the muffed punt gives it right back to the Spartans. See if the defense can continue to play well. Quick pass back to the left side. Dietrich Moore there on the spot to bring down the receiver. It's a loss of about a yard. Caught by McCormick. Just his 4th catch of the year, but 2 of them previously have gone for touchdowns.
That was kind of curious he threw that because, it was covered all the way.
I don't know that he realized it was covered because there was so much.
He was
rolling the other way,
yeah.
and so I think he just threw it kind of in, so to speak, blind faith, hoping that guy was there. Carroll bounces off a couple of attackers and is eventually wrestled down after a gain of about 3. Taylor Griffin leading the way. He was hit at the line of scrimmage.
A lot of second effort on the young man.
Carroll will check out. 3rd down, and we'll call it 8 for Bixby from the Tiger 31. Almost 2 minutes gone by here in the 3rd quarter. By this time in the 1st quarter, each team had scored. Quarterback run up the middle, sandwich down at around the 29. Just a gain of a couple. That'll bring up 3rd down and 5.
That kind of surprises me that they're still working with the quarterback run game. I know that's what they do, but right now, would you want a chance to get them hurt? Things like that when you're up 56-7.
Bixby's blessed with having 2 capable quarterbacks, but they do have different skill sets. You don't want to lose one of them. Going to try to throw this one deep up the right side. It's into traffic, and it is incomplete. Bixby fans calling for a flag. That was maybe
that
some
one.
early contact. It was less egregious than some others.
yeah.
So it's, live and let live at this point. It's 56-7. 9:36 to play, third quarter.
But if I was Bixby, I'd be working on the things that you don't run all that often. I mean, I just wouldn't do things where I'm going to get somebody hurt. It surprises me, but that's okay.
Whoa. Something has fallen down to the ground. I don't know if that's a fidget spinner or something. It's a red and green flashing light.
I saw that. I was wondering what that was.
The official picked it up and tossed it over the Broken Arrow sideline. Not sure if somebody threw something out there or what. Caden Jones looking for room.
Come on,
that's a nice move. Turns the corner, runs over a man, and then piles forward to the 40-yard line. That's a gain of 11 and a strong run for the freshman, Caden Jones. There is a Spartan down at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, number 3.
That's Sam McCormick. Listed as an outside linebacker, kind of holding his left shoulder as he walks off the field.
First down, Broken Arrow.
1st and 10 Tigers, 2 receivers right. That's Rummins and Barnett in the slot. Matthews splits out left. Tight end right. And now a shotgun set as Jones moves to the right of Owen Jones. That would be Caden Jones to the right of Owen Jones. No relation. Screen set up left side, flipped it out there too high. Set up well. Too much pressure in the face of Owen Jones, though, and he overthrows Caden Jones.
Brings up 2nd down and 10.
Cooper Bates will check in this time. This time 3 receivers right on the field side, 1 tight end left.
See, they're zoning it up.
Caden Jones didn't exactly sell the hard count there. He was just kind of standing there patiently. To be fair, that's how he stood on the real snap that time. Cooper Bates breaks into the open field across the 50 and flung down forward to about the 41. How about Caleb Barnett completing the block down here as well? He basically pancaked the receiver. Oh, there's a flag. So the guy that got pancaked, Dylan was frustrated, was letting the official hear about it. And I don't know exactly what he was saying, but he stuck up the number 4 at the official. And the official popped him with the flag.
Yeah,
he'll come off the field. Lauren Montgomery will talk to him about it. That's not something that you see very often from this Bixby squad.
No.
Not something you see very often from the Has twins, for that matter.
Yeah.
Handoff up the middle, not a lot of room to work that time.
Handoff goes number 20. On the stop for Bixby, number 71, Brandon Hahn.
Ball at the 26-yard line. I believe spotter Jeremy Bryan just asked if this is as far into Bixby territory as the Tigers have been. I think so. The Tigers don't have a red zone opportunity in the game. So
right. I agree.
If not, it's very close. 2nd and 11. Wanting to throw right.
Double
move back up the middle. It is caught by Matthews. Touchdown, Tigers.
Double move.
Number 11, Matthews. Touchdown, Broken
Best
Arrow.
drive of the day for Broken Arrow.
Yes. And see, there's the don't quit. That's what we need right there. Quarterback run game. We saw some really hard run with the tailback. And that double move was perfect.
PAT is up and good. Tigers are back on the board. 56-14 is the score. It's at 57-13, which is really confusing there for a second.
Yeah.
You know, Spav, I'm looking through here. One thing that is has been a little bit underlooked in this game is Tigers have only given up 1 sack. The pass protection has actually been pretty good. They've had time to run some double move routes down the field, and as aggressive as this Bixby team is, that 3-4 defense, you get a lot of those linebackers blitzing at one time or another. So the front five for the Tigers have done a nice job protecting the quarterback.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Certainly a silver lining that you can look at.
I know.
We also have a Honda
Broken Arrow still leading in time of possession in the contest.
That's good. That's good. We need to keep that.
8:24 to play in the third quarter. The Tigers have scored in the second half. The Spartans have not. Nope. Somebody's about to get towed, it sounds like. Spav and I parked in a permitted parking space, so we're in good shape. The kick is away from Hunter Martins. A deep kick up the near side, and it's into the end zone for a touchback. We'll see, Spav, if the Tiger defense can build on what it has been doing so far. Really, they got 2 stops. They forced a punt, then had a muff punt, and then got a second stop on that last drive. So we'll see if they can keep building on that.
And this is their offense out here, too.
Yeah, it's the starting offense. With the exception of Bodie Carroll, who's a reserve running back, we've seen the starting linemen, the starting quarterbacks.
Quarterback, receivers. I know they're bringing in a lot of different personnel groupings. Is this a new quarterback now?
This is a new quarterback. Clay Peters. Luke Haas is also out of the game. Motion right to left from Dylan Haas. The brochure said there would be actually exactly this many Haases. Oh, Tigers jumped offsides.
But see, look at all the adjustments on that one play. There was 4 defensive adjustments you had to make on that play.
I wondered, Spav, a moment ago.
And you had a blitz call, and you had a blitz call, so therefore it even makes it tougher because you have to have your blitz rules.
The Tigers had a couple stops on that last drive. I was making a mental note to see whether or not Bixby was still throwing all this motion in there, and they are.
Right there.
There's that little wheel motion again. Fake the pitch. Now bouncing to the outside is Connor Kirby, is another one of the starter quarterbacks back in the game.
I just don't see why they're running him. And I'm not the coach. I just.
Kirby has had 2 games of 100 yards or more coming into today's contest. Now make it 3, as he's got over 100 in this game as well. 31-yard line of Bixby for the Spartans, 1st and 10. Handoff up the middle, hit hard, and ridden down on the stop that time for Broken Arrow was big 94 Demarius Reynolds. He's done a little bit of everything this year, Spav. He came into the game with 27 tackles, 2 sacks, a quarterback hurry, a forced fumble, and a block kick.
I know.
Effective in many aspects of the game this season. 2nd and 10. Caden Jones in at corner on the near side. There's a broken tackle, so to speak, and drug down from behind is the running back. It'll be a horse collar on Cody Watson trying to make the play from behind.
Right.
Obviously, you don't want to see a horse collar tackle because it's dangerous, but what impressed me about that play was he stopped him and pulled him back. I mean, that shows you how strong he is.
Exactly.
Because he just literally reached up and grabbed him like a I don't know, like somebody grabs a cat from the hind skin and just pulled it back.
See, they pulled a tackle out there, and that just, creates a miss. And now they're empty.
Empty set with all this motion. Quick pass left side. It's high. Incomplete. Receiver was hit immediately as well. I think that was Haz on the, no, that was not Haz on the far side. That was Snyder. Hit and knocked down by Hardaway in the process. Snyder will hustle off the field. And checking in for him is Christian Kaiser, who had a touchdown reception on the first drive of the game for Bixby.
That was just kind of strange they threw that because that wasn't a mismatch. And we read that very well.
Seems like the Tigers are doing a better job lining up against some of the smoke and mirrors.
See now.
Now a quarterback run to the right side. Turn the corner. There's a flag down. Maybe a holding at the point of attack there. The quarterback, Peters, is knocked out of bounds. Peters, coming into the game in reserve duty, has run it 21 times for 138 yards and 3 scores. He's also 9 for 10 through the air, but only for 35 yards and no touchdowns. So he's been. It's got a high completion percentage, but they haven't done much with it.
Down remains second.
Deidre Moore lost his towel. He'll tuck it back in as the penalty moves the Spartans back into their own territory at the 47. Looking to throw, Peters over the middle. It's caught at the 40-yard line, wide open to the 30. Leaning over, tumbling forward. That's first down yardage.
That was like the tight end. I mean,
he's at least the third string tight end.
Right. Now see, they have him out here so they can block. See,
quick pass near side. It's caught across the 20-yard line, out of bounds around the 18. That's close to a first down, but about 2 yards short.
See, that's when they had their offense. Put a tight end out here so they could block.
To get out the extra rosters here. Pressure on the quarterback. Now a deep throw over the middle of the field. There's some contact there. Elisha Wilson may have got away with one that time.
Yeah, I think so too.
6:40 to play. Third quarter. The incomplete pass makes it 3rd down and 2, with Bixby leading Broken Arrow 56-14. Third and 2. Quick pass over the left side, looking for the slant route. It's incomplete. That was too far out in front of the receiver. Yeah, that'll bring up 4th down.
Play action slant. We had that all covered.
I think I might kick the field goal here just for the rep if I'm Bixby.
Well, that's what I was saying. You know, a lot of times is eliminate the quarterback run game and work on things that you need to work on.
Handoff straight up the middle, bouncing it over the left side. First down yardage. He breaks through, staying on his feet into the end zone for the score. What a run from Cody Carroll.
An impressive run. It really was.
Got hit near the line of scrimmage, kind of powered his way through for the first down. Bounced off a tackler, though, and then what most impressed me about that run was him putting that right hand down, staying on his feet when it looked like he got tripped up.
Exactly.
Pretty impressive.
It really was.
That would make the score 62, and with the PAT good, now 63-14. The scoreboard somehow says 69, but that is inaccurate. That would be mathematically impossible from where they were previously. 6:28 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Madison Dildine had some information from the halftime locker room that she was able to glean after we came back from the halftime break there. Madison, what do you have for us?
Yeah, guys, the message on the sidelines and
well, Madison a little too far away over that far sideline, it would appear, this evening. Had her there for a minute. Not quite, though. I'm going to guess those were words of encouragement, though, Span.
Exactly.
At our grand opening in November, visit our website at millshomestore.com or shop our showrooms in Oklahoma and Sapulpa Monday through Friday.
63-14 the score, 6:28 to go. 3rd quarter.
There's nothing like a Neal deal.
Bixby get back coach hard at work trying to push back the sideline down there. Ball be teed up at the 40. This is a full-on lime green tee. Spav, what are some other scores you got for us here
Well, Jinx is up on Moore, 42-21 in the fourth quarter. Last night, Mustang beat Owasso.
No, Mustang played Union last night. That must be a JV score or something.
Because
Owasso's at UConn tonight.
Yeah, okay, Owasso, UConn.
Caden Jones, good return over the far side and out into some space up the sideline. Pushed out of bounds around the 40-yard line. Yeah, there's Union and Mustang from last night, 53-21.
Oh, okay.
Red Hawks.
Gotcha.
Enid over Westmore 9-7.
Wow.
Wonder if they kicked 3 field goals or if they got a safety in there.
Santa Fe was one of our top teams last year. Hasn't even won a game this year.
Hand off to Nate Jones over the right side. Twisting his way forward for a few. Out to about the 43.
You know, a lot of schools are on fall break this week. I wonder. I thought we used to have it all at the same time.
Tigers are on fall break next week, presumably?
Yes.
Right side, that's right, because the game's on Thursday next week. That's Cooper Bates, just a couple yards out to about the 45-yard line. Strong blocking taking place on the near side, and kind of a late tussle between Rummins and who else was that? Snyder in there for Bixby. This game has gotten a little emotional at times. The officials right on top of that one, though. Making sure there weren't too many extracurricular activities.
Exactly.
3rd and 5, motion out of the backfield from Nate Jones. Bates, check that. Owen Jones takes the snap, passes towards the bubble screen, incomplete. Through the hands of Barnett.
Yeah, they read the jailbreak that time, so.
5:04 to play in the third. 63-14 Bixby. Overcast skies, I guess, because I don't see a moon or stars or nothing up there right now. Snap back, a good long run up, and Bates gets a good punt away. A fair catch called for and made back at the Bixby 18-yard line. That's a good heads-up play by Cooper Bates, Spav, because he could see there wasn't really a rush coming, so take your time, allow your kick coverage unit to get down the field a little bit, and then get a good steady punt away.
Exactly. And a lot of that is the advantage of the rugby punt too, because it takes a little more time. It's not and you can delay it, get your coverage, and then of course obviously kick away and let it roll.
Jet sweep action to the near side, turning the corner at the 20, inside to the 25. He lost the football. It's on the floor at the 30-yard line. There is a flag down at the 22-yard line. Let's see who got the ball first. No signal yet. I think it might be Tiger football. It is Tiger football.
Yeah.
Now that flag, if that's a hold or something, the Tigers will decline. So we'll see what the flag is. It is a hold against the offense. The Tigers forced the turnover. I didn't see who came up with the football. There's about 6 guys in there. Never actually saw the football come out of the pile, to be honest.
Will take over at the Bixby 30-yard line. First down, Tigers.
I think it was Wilson that caused the fumble. And there's a bunch of guys in there trying to get to the ball. Tigers starting at the Bixby 30. Handoff left side. Jones bounces it outside. Down to the 25. Whoa! Shoved out of bounds. He goes up over the fence and into the walkway of the stadium there.
It's such a short sideline. It's like Jinx's field. You know, it's just real short on the sides. Not a lot of room there.
He's right back out on the field. Owen Jones in at quarterback. Cooper Bates, A.D. Rummins to the sideline.
Well, he had a nice run there. He bounced that thing out, had a really nice run.
Got 5 yards on it.
Yes.
2nd and 5. Tigers doing a better job staying ahead of the chains in the second half. They chewed up more clock. Motion into the backfield from Barnett. He went option both ways. Now they hit the tight end on the screen. Wilhite tumbling forward, rolling over a defender, a gain of about 3. That was a unique play right there.
Sent one tight end deep. Siebert sent him deep, more of a decoy, and then set up that screen.
And you had the running backs splitting out in both directions on bubble routes. A lot of eye candy on that one. 3rd and 2 here for Broken Arrow. Trailing 63-14 with 4 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. Handoff. Caden Jones bounces it right. Now inside past the 20 and spun down around the 10-yard line. That was a nice burst of speed through that right side.
You know, he gets the ball, gets down there, has nothing, just runs zone, then he just bounces that thing out. Finds the opening. The kid is really good.
A whistle and a stoppage as Bixby has a player that was down near the line of scrimmage. Spav, this will be the first snap for the Tigers inside the red zone tonight.
Really?
They've not made a red zone appearance yet, have scored twice, but both of those times have been from outside the red zone. Now, Spav, you have a chance here. We've talked about some silver linings in this game. One thing that we've talked about over the last few weeks is the Tigers have needed to get better when they get in the red zone of punching the ball into the end zone. That's something they've not been as good as they need to be on. Here's a chance against as good a team as you're going to see all year to build some confidence and go punch one in.
Absolutely. And they still have the majority of their defense out there. I don't see too many that aren't.
Snyder's the starting quarter. He's been in there.
No, you're right. It's a confident builder. I mean, you need to have this in order to build that confidence because it's tough. We need touchdowns. You got to learn his touchdowns in the red zone.
Those are the starting defensive linemen coming out. Starting safeties are in there. Starting linebackers are in there for the most part. And this is the ones.
Yep, you're right.
2 receivers left, tight end. Both of them are to the left side. Empty set now for Cooper Bates. Bates trying the middle, now bounces it out right side, nowhere to go.
Yeah, they had a lot of penetration there on the counter. Quarterback counter there, the penetration. You couldn't get the pull out.
On the stop for Bixby, number 30, Hank Puckett.
Brings up 2nd and goal from the 10. Owen Jones in at quarterback. Caden Jones to his right. Quick pass, left side deflected and in and out of the hands of Matthews. That'll bring up 3rd down and goal.
Brings up 3rd down.
Looks like that might have been an outside linebacker blitz from that near side. So he has the right read by Jones. You throw it to where that blitzer's coming from, but he got a hand on it. 3rd and goal from the 10.
Looks like they're going to put pressure again. Let's see.
A little draw handoff up the middle to Caden Jones here. If they're going to bring pressure from the outside in particular.
They got both outside pressure.
Instead, it's a fade to the near side. Incomplete. Matthews had a chance to go up and get it. Couldn't quite bring it in.
Brings up 4th down and goal from the 10.
Brings up 4th down, and Hunter Martins will attempt a field goal. This will be a 27-yarder. Inside of 30 yards, Martins is 5 for 5 in his career. The snap's a bit high, but the ball's down. The kick is on the way, and it is good. So make it 6 of 6 from inside 30 yards for Hunter Martins. He's now 5 for 6 kicking field goals this season. And 13 of 14 in his career.
That's
a very, very solid field goal kicker.
Very consistent.
And Tigers back on the board, 63-17. Bixby leads. Still 3 minutes to play before the end of the 3rd quarter.
Is the Regional Sports Medicine Authority. Tonight we would like to recognize St. Francis Health Systems as our primary game day sponsor. Based right here in Oklahoma, St. Francis is proud to be the area's largest network of hospitals, physicians, and healthcare services. Learn more at St. Francis.
2:56 to play in the third. Bixby about to notch consecutive victory number 56.
Yeah, that's just, it's insane, isn't it?
You don't have the CPA One app? Download and sign in now and get your free sandwich
I
loaded.
believe that would mean these seniors have a chance to go through their entire
Oh,
career
that's right. That's
without losing a football game.
Uh-huh. Now that's
pretty
impressive.
mind-blowing.
That is, yeah.
Hunter Martins has the ball teed up at the 40. Broken Arrow, meanwhile, poised to fall to 2-5 on the year and 2-2 in district play. Return up the near side of the 15. Broken tackle out near the 19, and then he's swallowed up and pushed backwards.
Good coverage.
Best we've seen tonight.
Yes.
Arguably, maybe the best Bixby's seen all year in terms of them trying to return a kick.
Absolutely, that was good. Ball had some height on it, and like you said, it allows you time to cover.
Ball will be spotted at the 19-yard line. First down.
Ball will be placed down right on the 19. Well, who's that Bixby quarterback right now? That is Clay Peters back in the game at QB. Peters takes the snap. He'll throw the bubble screen left side. Gouldsby turning the corner. He's got space across the 30 and spun out of bounds there. That's a nice tackle. Not only did he push him out of bounds, he wrapped him up, brought him down. That's Wilson on the stop.
And that's the motion where they outnumber us on the edge. They throw the flare.
First down, Bixby.
Peters, quick pass, left side, caught again on the little screen pass. And, you know, Spav, we've seen a steady dose of these quick outside passes, but we've not seen as many of them as I anticipated coming
I know
into the game. I thought we'd
because
see a little
they
more.
have normally thrown those so much more than they have in the previous games.
Well, and what we just saw there is what those are really intended for. That's first down, you get the quick hit screen outside, you get 5 yards, you're ahead of the chains.
Yeah, that's a run. That's a run play for them.
2nd and 5, motion to the backfield. Quick handoff over the left side. Gain of about 4 out near the 39. That'll bring up 3rd down and 1. Clock approaching 2 minutes here in the third quarter.
Moore on the stop brings up 3rd down and 1 for Bixby.
Dietrich Moore led the way on the tackle. Fake handoff. Peters will take it himself. Left side. First down yardage and more. Into Tiger territory at the 40, and Wilson again is the last man standing to make the stop. Wilson a little slow to get up.
On the stop, number 4.
Peters taken down around the Tiger 30. Where are they going to mark it? 34-yard line.
First down, Bixby.
Boy, that quarterback run game they have is just outstanding.
Well, they got multiple guys that can do it too.
This is the 3rd one.
When it makes you a lot more brave in terms of letting your quarterback run when you got backups that can do it too. There's another strong run for Carroll. Bodie Carroll already with a touchdown tonight on an impressive run. That was another gain of about 11.
Number 8, Wilhite.
Credit the stop to number 8, Joshua Wilhite. He is absolutely not on the field. I'm going to guess that it was probably JQ. Well, if there was number 8, it's JQ Mans, but I don't see him out there either. Peters running left. The flag is down. I think that was an illegal formation, judging from where that flag came from.
Clay Peters on the quarterback keeper. There's a flag on the field.
Peters kept it, gained about 3. Yep. Illegal shift on the Spartans. That'll back them up to the 28-yard line. It'll be 1st and 15.
You know, I'm surprised they hadn't got quite a few of those there because they jump, shift, motion every snap.
And you know, Spav.
You know, and that takes a lot of discipline. You know.
we talked about this some with when Union was playing at Broken Arrow earlier this year, because Union is another team that throws a lot of that eye candy at you. They do a lot of motion, all that kind of stuff. But it seems to me that when Union does it, it's a lot more with tight ends and H-backs as a handoff goes up the middle for fairly short yardage. On the tackle that time was Reynolds. That was Bodie Carroll on the carry. But it seems to me that was a lot more power, motion, and getting tight ends where you want to block, where this is much more done from that spread formation. It seems a little more exotic.
It's like an option team. I'm telling you. I mean, you got the pitch. You've got the quarterback run game. You got the dive, the smoke and mirrors. I mean, it's like a one-back option team.
And Bodie Carroll in the game now, and pardon me, earlier, number 15, that was in fact Cody Kroll, who had been running the ball quite well over the course of that the game here in the second half for Bixby.
Right.
So my apologies to Mr. Kroll, who's already scored a touchdown. 63-17, Bixby leading over Broken Arrow. 12 minutes left to play. We'll take a break. This is Broken Arrow Tiger football on ArrowVision.
While you are teaching someone special the nuances of keeping the wheel steady, we can provide you means for you to maintain financial equilibrium. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. First people put people first. There is nothing like teaching about the rewards in life, like catching that first big fish. Now they can learn about other rewards by opening up my first savings account just for them. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. First people put people first.
Right now, get $200 from TTCU Federal Credit Union when you open a new checking account with direct deposit. What would you buy with $200?
Cars, race cars, my own apartment, 100 coloring books, and a puppy.
Or maybe some groceries and a tank of gas. $200 for whatever works for you from TTCU, because life is better in balance.
Principal is kind of been divided, and the assistant principal is Ashley Bayou. Go Spartans!
Welcome back to Bixby as we head into the fourth quarter. 12 minutes on the clock. Bixby up on Broken Arrow 63-17. Quarterback run left side, inside the 20. Close down to the first down mark.
Peters on the quarterback keeper.
That was Peters on the keeper. Brought down at the 16. It brings up third down and about 3. Half diamond pistol set here. Fullback left.
They're shifting, empty.
I don't think they've ever run it out of that
They're
formation.
going to block over here. See the block over here.
Quick pass in and out of the hands of Kroll. That'll bring up fourth down.
See, they shifted those big guys into the boundary to block for the wide receiver screen. But you got to make a decision real quick defensively. That's a adjustment you got to make on the fly. And what really happens is you put your secondary guys over there instead of big linemen.
4th and 3. Offense will go for it. Fullback, rather tight end, motions over to the left side. Looked like Peters was going to go under center there for a moment. Now he's got a tailback to his left in the shotgun. 4th and 4. Quarterback run left side. Trying to turn the corner. He dives forward. It's going to be close to a first down, but I don't know if he got it.
I don't think he got it.
Tigers sprint a defender on. But they are going to say he's about half a yard short, so it'll be Tiger football. And now Tiger opponents are just 2 for 10 on fourth down this year.
There you go.
1 for 2 tonight. The Tigers take over 1st and 10 from their own 14. 11:21 remaining. This has been a long football game, Spav.
Yeah. 566.
It's 9:45. We've been playing for 2 hours and 45 minutes roughly. Here's a snap on 1st and 10. Handoff up the middle. No room to work. That's going to be a loss of a couple back to the 12. I think that was Nate Jones on the carry. Yes, it was.
Number 24, Nate Jones.
Bixby with 568 yards, 320 through the air and 248 on the ground. Either of those individuals has outgained the Tigers as a whole at 226.
Yeah, it's just when you look at it, they're winning the battle of the line of scrimmage right here. Defensively, they're not creating a new line of scrimmage. Linebackers are playing downhill.
Handoff goes Nate Jones.
A couple yards worth of gain for Nate Jones. Out to the 16.
Now he doesn't need a whole lot of running lane. I mean, our running backs.
Caden Jones in, Nate Jones out. Nate looks a little bit hobbled. He's kind of jogging off a little slow. Screen set up on 3rd and long.
Nice.
Caden Jones tracked down from behind. That's a very nice individual effort to go get him. Not a lot of guys are capable of catching up to Caden Jones once he gets by you. Brings up 4th down and 7, and the punt team is on the field for Broken Arrow.
Boy, we had to set up well.
Yeah, when he caught it, it looked quite promising.
It did. I guess we got some weather moving in here.
Really?
Yeah. Over in Broken Arrow, we're getting some lightning.
That's not ideal. Punt is away. That's a low line drive kick that takes a pro Broken Arrow bounce, but scooped up by Bixby and tackled at the 49-yard line. That was a nice play. Coming up to make the stop was Jaime Murillo.
Well, I mean, he fielded that ball pretty quick, too. So that was good coverage.
Touchdown, Bixby at the 50-yard line.
Check that. That might have been Lee Ivy. It's one of those two guys. They both wear 21. I'm not sure which one it was at this point.
See, it's the advantage of having all their personnel groupings over here.
Motion into the backfield. Peters takes the snap. Hand off over the left side. A patient run. Perhaps too patient that time, as there was some room to work, and then the Tigers were able to bottle him up. Gain of about 3.
Handoff goes number 14.
That was Carroll on the carry. Clock approaching 9 minutes here in the 4th quarter. Well, now you've got me getting my my radar out here, Spav, and see what we're dealing with.
Well, I have that Weather Op app, which is for the school, for sporting events.
Carry on the left side this time. Peters lowers his shoulder, tries to run through a defender.
Peters on the quarterback keeper.
Not a lot working that time, though. On the stop that time for the Tigers, Tyreek Taylor.
So we're about 4 yards now, 3rd and 4. We just had a guy go down.
Yeah, Tiger down on the far side there. I think that is Demarius Reynolds.
Yeah. I'm not sure if he cramped up or something. You know, it's like he's running off the field and then went down.
Both teams have gathered on their various sidelines. There is a Bixby coach, as I look through the binoculars onto the sidelines, that has, I guess Chick-fil-A sponsored these shirts. So if he's facing away, he's just got a red shirt with Chick-fil-A on the bed. It looks like he walked off the drive-through line of Chick-fil-A and out here to coach a football game. When you turn around, it's got the Spartan logo on it, though. Sometimes you got to chuckle at the little things in these kinds of situations. Snap on 3rd and 4, straight up the middle. That's Carroll. First down yardage, breaks a tackle, wrapped up and spun down at the 30. Shane Wyatt reached him to make the stop.
On the stop, number 40, Forsythe.
Yeah, they're just cutting them back. They're just dominating the offense. They're just dominating the line of scrimmage right now.
First and 10 from the 31. Right side, Peters tripped up.
Clay Peters on the quarterback keeper.
Lost a couple. Back to the 33. Clock down to 7:40. Bixby leading 63-17.
On the stop, number 30.
Two receivers and a tight end right.
Brings up second down and 12 for the Spartans.
Tigers, for the most part, still have the ones in. A couple guys are either dinged up or unavailable at this point in the game, but for the most part, the one's still in there. Peters, right side, through the gap, inside the 20, sprinting forward before he's ridden down around the 16-yard line. That'll move the chains for Bixby again.
First down, Bixby.
We got a player down. Let's see.
We got another Tiger down here. That's Taylor Griffin. Broken Arrow starting to get a little beat up.
I tell you, they're putting a lot of others in there. You know, the running back and the quarterback. But man, they have speed. They still have speed in those positions.
The Tiger's still down over there. This has been a physical game throughout, and we're starting to see some of the effects of that.
Yeah, it's been a physical game.
There's somebody down there on the sideline with a shirt that in big letters just says steak eater, and now I'm hungry for steak.
Well, I don't think that's
Number 2,
Griffin was walking off under his own power, then kind of stopped midway. Now he's able to get off to the sideline, though.
And the official orthopedic and sports medicine provider for Bixby Public Schools. Advanced Orthopedics of Oklahoma is focused on providing you with the personalized orthopedic care you deserve. For their best team.
So are we able to communicate with Madison yet?
I don't think so is the answer to that question.
Yeah.
I think she can probably hear us fine, but we're having a hard time getting her signal back up here. Peters takes it, carries it left. Wrapped up and brought down inbounds by Cole Lamont. They lost about a yard.
You know, that's an interesting play. I mean, you're showing the zip sweep, and you fake it, and you just follow.
It turns him into a lead blocker, essentially.
I know, exactly. But
the problem is you get the defense flowing that way.
Yeah, and it's slow developing because he's at a stop position, and then he has to run.
So backup quarterback, maybe he was supposed to run the other way. Quick pass left side, it's caught, makes a man miss, hit, and brought down at about the 1 yard line. Blake Hogshuter on the catch, just a sophomore at 6'3".
I know, look how tall he is.
150. That's a guy that if he can put on some weight and has some skill to him, which it looks like he does, he's going to have a chance to go and play Division I football. Pistol set. Handoff left side. Oh, a huge hit. But into the end zone goes Bodie Carroll. I think that was Moore that came up and hit him.
Moore hit him, yeah.
He tried everything he could to keep him out of that goal line. (69-17) with the PAT coming for Bixby. Oh. He hustled one young man off. He almost tripped himself up. He's all right. Snap back, ball down. Kick on the way, and it is good. 70-17. Bixby leading Broken Arrow with 5:44 remaining.
Yeah, we need to work on that possession time now.
Bixby has retaken the lead in time of possession. The Spartans have moved the ball for 618 yards tonight.
Wow.
Coming in, the Tigers were allowing about 380 per game. So Bixby has passed it for 335 and run it for 283. And again, they had a 70-plus yard kick return. They had a 70-plus yard interception return.
Right.
And their first, 4 of their first 7 possessions started in Tiger territory. Tiger kick return team is on the field. We're waiting for the Bixby kick unit with 5:44 remaining. I'll tell you what, Bixby has a rare commodity in that even their kicker is a unit. He's 6'2", 185.
They're all tall.
It makes it a lot easier to have that 11th tackler on the field on kickoff units when your kicker is 6'2", 170 or 185. Kick on the way. It's a low line drive kick. Takes a nice big hop, but it's booted by Caden Jones back at the 7. He picks it up with nowhere to go. He's rocked at the 7-yard line, finally pushed backwards. He stood straight up and took a lick right in the face mask. And unfortunately, that's about how the evening is going.
I know. I mean, we just can't field anything cleanly or anything. I mean, they're making the right move.
Jones seems to be kind of laughing it off with Barnett as they jog off the field.
Yeah, he'll fill that one. He'll fill that tomorrow morning.
I felt that one up here. He got tackled by a total of 4 guys, but one caught him straight in the chest. Some reserves in at this point, it would appear, for Bixby defensively. Same formation, 3 down linemen. Quick pass left side. Barnett lays out, didn't catch it. It's incomplete.
Pass intended for number 3 will fall incomplete.
.532 to go. Clock stopped after the incompletion. 2nd and 10 from the Tiger 9 for Broken Arrow. Tigers have won the penalty battle. But it has not been enough this evening. 2nd down. Bates running right, scrambling, throwing, incomplete. There was some confusion there. Rummins initially went out on a route.
I don't think it was a pass, was it? I think he just threw it away.
It was supposed to be a run, and he just threw it away because he recognized he had a guy in the area.
Yeah, because it looked like he was blocking the edge there.
It's a fairly heads-up play.
Yeah.
Maybe quarterback draw. Tough part about that is you got to be careful not to have an illegal man downfield if they're run blocking.
Exactly.
5:26 to play. 3rd and 10. Bates launches it down the middle of the field looking for Caden Matthews. It's not there. 3 incomplete passes. The Tigers will go 3 and out and have to punt out of their own end zone, having run about 15 seconds off the clock on that drive.
That's usually what happens when my boys play because, you know, one of my boys is the defense coordinator, the other one's the offensive coordinator. And so they get after each other when, like, you know, my son runs the Leach offense, so.
There's a punt off the side of Cooper Bates' foot. And it hits out of bounds right around the Tiger 30-yard line. Unfortunately, Spav, this has kind of been the story of the game. There's many stories, I suppose, but that punt will move Bixby's average fielding position, starting field position, right up to around midfield, if not into Tiger territory. Out of a total of 17 drives now in this game. That's so many drives. 17 drives in this game for Bixby. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 have started in Tiger territory. Their average starting field position is at their own 49.
Including this one?
That's including this one.
Okay.
7 of 17.
Wow.
Darn near half.
You know, we used to have an old rule that we wanted to have field position inside the 50-yard line twice during the game. That used to be that used to be hard to do.
Brings up 2nd down and 10 for Bixby.
Murillo makes the stop. 2nd and 10 coming up here. And off right side. Not a ton of room, but able to bounce off of a couple tackles.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of cross blocking in there and just kind of leading up on the backer with some heavier guys.
Bradley Ferguson still in the game, led the way initially on that stop and looked a little bit shaken up at first.
Brings up 3rd down and 7 for the Spartans.
Second team linebacking core is in, but the defensive backs, those that are healthy and still available, are the starters are still out there. Front line is a mix. 3rd and 7. You give it away on the jet sweep right side, inside the 20, into the open field, 10, 5, and punched out of bounds at the, no, not out of bounds. Got over the goal line, got over the pylon. He's in for the score. And when it rains, it pours, apparently, in Bixby.
Well, it was like a delayed. You know, he read the handoff and he gave it to him.
Brayson Trusty on the score that time. There's a guy with the last name Trusty on your team. You got to name him like Old Reliable or something, right? Especially since he's a senior.
Yeah.
$59-point deficit right now. Bixby's PAT unit on trying to make it 60. Tough.
It is.
3:54 to play. Snap back, ball down, kick up, and it is good. 3:54 to play. The Tigers will get at least one more shot with the ball. There have been a mind-blowing amount of drives in this game.
I know.
The two teams combined have had 34. It's about to be 35 drives. I mean, that's an insane amount of possessions.
How many plays is that?
Well, I'll tell you. The Tigers have run 58. Bixby has run 82 plays.
See, that's a college level game.
That's a high amount of plays in a college level game. I mean, if you're getting up into the 80s and 90s, you're running with some pace. 90 plus is really, really running with pace. And keep in mind, they've got 12 more minutes of football they play at that level, too.
That's right.
So it'd be like adding an entire quarter onto this game.
Yeah.
That's just a massive amount of plays. 647 yards now for Bixby in the game.
So how many yards has the quarterback run game been for Bixby? Can you get an average?
Kirby ran for 106. Peters at 48, so that's more than 150. Havens for 3, so about 100 and, let's see, 157 yards just in quarterback runs. Barnett right side, stacked up. Somehow manages to fall forward amongst that group. Out to the 26-yard line, 3:45 to play.
See, that's what's impressive is the quarterback run game. It's so hard to stop. I mean, we can sit there and say, oh, you got to stop the quarterback, but it's just not easy because
we're certainly not doing it from up here.
And their offense is just one of those that once you adjust to it, then they're going to trigger and do something else.
We talked about this earlier, but it's so balanced. I mean, they are within 23 yards between passing and running tonight. 335 through the air, 312 on the ground. I mean, when have you ever heard of a team that has both passed and run for 300 yards in a game?
Exactly.
Cooper Bates spinning and falling forward for a gain of about 3 out to the 30-yard line. And when you've got
we got one hurt.
They're doing it. They're doing it with quarterback run. They're doing it with quick passes to the outside. They're doing it with passes to the tight end on pop passes and design passes over the middle. They're doing it with option run. I mean, it's a little bit of everything.
Right. I just like.
I think that is.
They're just impressive in the way they just take what you do and make it wrong.
Yeah.
You know, it's like they're waiting on you. Well, we're going to run this play, but you start triggering somebody, then we've got an answer to that, you know. And then if you don't trigger something, we're going to create more people at the point of attack. This, like I was telling you earlier, this offense reminds me of Coastal Carolina in the Sun Belt, which is they're an undefeated team right now. They're really good, but they run a lot of this option stuff, a lot of quarterback run game, a lot of delayed stuff, and it's tough to defend.
Number 26, Matthew Elizondo.
Looks like Elizondo shaking up on the play. Needing some assistance to walk over to the far sideline. Boy, you hate to see that.
Yeah.
.333 to go, 77-17. Bixby on top. A Broken Arrow. Two receivers and a tight end left. Handoff right side. Strong run, but
yeah, they
not
just
a ton
kept
of
leverage.
room.
They kept leverage there.
That was Dallas Dyer on the carry. You haven't heard a lot from him this year. Check that. Boy, I don't know. Yeah, there's Taylor Griffin or Ethan Ansley. I think that was probably Ansley, but they're both listed as defensive backs on my roster. Left side, Ansley again. Gain of about 1.5 yards out to the 35. No, I think that's got to be Dallas Dyer. This is the updated chart, and it's got Dallas Dyer listed as number 2 as a running back. So that's got to be Dyer carrying the football there. 4th down and 2 coming up. Clock will run down to about 2 minutes before the Tigers snap this. The punt team is on the field. That does not look like Cooper Bates back to punt. It's Garrett Lynch instead. Punt is away. That's a good kick. Hits at the 36 of Bixby and
yeah, that was
rolled
that
around the 32. I think it was touched back closer to the 35. And they'll mark it at the 34. So a little bit of, what do I know, Spav?
Yeah.
1st and 10, Bixby from its own 34-yard line with 1:51 to go.
Yeah, Bixby's putting in everybody else now.
We hope to hear from Madison Dildine post-game, but it's been a hit and miss, so not sure if we'll be able to snag her or not. We've missed her conversation over the course of this second half.
We have.
The victory formation is on the field here for Bixby, and the Spartans take a knee with 1:45 seconds remaining. You know, you see some more victory formation, Spav, these days out of the shotgun. This one's one I haven't really seen, though. They've got the wings, instead of being back there by the quarterback, kind of out on the edges.
Right.
So if it's a bad snap, if the quarterback drops the ball, there's really only one guy sitting there paying attention to jump on it, other than the quarterback. That's that running back.
That's a good point.
He's 7 yards deep.
That's a good point.
Usually you've got those two wing backs, kind of inside facing the quarterback so that they can look, watch him catch it. If he doesn't catch it, then you dive on it. If he does catch it, then you turn and block.
Right.
Under a minute to play. Bixby will have to take one more kneel down. Peters on to do the honors. .30 seconds to play. Peters will take a knee.
And that's your game.
And that'll end the ball game. 77-17, the final score. And Spav, I think we knew this was going to be a challenge. I don't know that this was necessarily the expected outcome by any stretch of the imagination.
I didn't think it would be at all. You know, going into this game, I thought we matched up well. I thought there's a lot of things that we could attack but it just didn't work out. I mean, everything basically went wrong. You know, it started with just dropping the kickoff returns, you know, and then getting ourselves in bad field position, and then punting and forcing and giving them the ball in great field position. It was just, you know, there's a lot of penalties. There's a lot of adjustment errors. There's a lot of, you know, we lost the field position battle.
Now we'll see if we can go down to the sideline and Madison Dildine, who's with Coach. Madison?
Coach, what was the difference in the game from your perspective?
They're way better than we are. They play hard. They're really good. You know, that's the standard right now. We're trying to get to that, and we didn't match it tonight. You know, I was hoping we could connect on a couple shots early and keep it close, but it's what they do. They overwhelm you, and then before you know it, they've snowballed a score like we see right now.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
That is Madison Dildine down on the sidelines, as well as Coach Blankenship, and a big thank you to Coach Blankenship, because I mean, Coach Spav, you're a coach. Nobody likes to lose, but for him to take the time to go ahead and still give us a moment there,
but he made a good point. Yeah, but he made a good point. Is, you know, we have a very young team, or I mean, I should say, experience-wise, especially from we did the past year. But he's right. He says Bixby is the standard, and we want to reach that standard. And he's making a good point, and he knows where we need to go, what direction. It's not that they're not coached well. The kids are playing. I mean, we just got snowballed tonight. Doesn't mean anything as far as coaching errors or anything. It's just we just have to get better at what we do.
You know, Spav,
at a different standard, you know.
A silver lining to point out here, because this was a rough one. It was not the way anybody wanted it to go from the Tigers' perspective. And as the Tigers all headed off to the right side of the field here to the locker room, one guy turned and went left. That was Caleb Barnett. So he's walking away from the rest of the team. And I was like, okay, where's he going? So while you were talking there, I was following him. He was going to check on Elizondo, his teammate, who just came up hurt a moment ago, and essentially helped guide him to the locker room through the crowd in the other direction. If you're going to get to that standard, yes, I mean, like you got things to improve on, X's and O's wise, execution wise, all that kind of stuff. But it's got to start with the attitude of the players and those guys playing for each other. I mean, that is as cohesive as a high school football team as you will see anywhere in the country. What we just saw tonight from Bixby, and little things like that. Barnett going to help a teammate. You know, those are things that start to add up and stack on top of each other over time. So,
you know, like
a game where not a lot of things were positives, there's one at least.
Yeah, and I've always told, I always taught my players when I was a coach is that you got to change the way you think. You just have to change the way you think. If you're going to think negative thoughts, then you're going to have negative thoughts. You know, just if you're going to listen to crowd noise, it's going to be crazy for you. But if you change the way you think, good things are going to happen.
The final score, 77-17, Bixby over Broken Arrow. One more time, let's try going down to the sideline and Madison Dildine, so we didn't really get to hear from her in the second half. Yeah. Madison, what did you observe? What were things like as that game played out and kind of went down the stretch?
The only thing. They were saying the only thing that matters right now is the clock and time. We've just got to keep playing. So overall, the energy on the sidelines, even though it could have been really defeating, Obviously, losing by quite a bit. The guys still seemed optimistic, and they were holding each other accountable as well. Adam?
Thank you, Madison. It's good to know.
You know, what she's saying there. It sounds like the point they were trying to get across is like, yes, obviously the score is lopsided, but if you're paying attention to the clock at that point, your thought process is, hey, we have this much time left in this game to get better. Find ways to get better. Find ways to compete. So hopefully that's a positive and something they can build off of.
I think so. I think you can. There's a lot of things you got to take in games like this, and that's one of them.
Now the final score, 77-17. Bixby 56 consecutive wins at this point. The seniors on this team have never lost a game. Obviously, those behind them have not lost a game either. The Tigers, meanwhile, fall to 2-4 on the year. They're 2-2 in district play, and got to find a way to win some games down the stretch here.
We do.
Enid, Moore, both teams that are competing. Moore, I think, is 4-2 heading into their game this week. I don't know what their district record is, but that game against Moore coming up is going to be a big one. That could potentially be for a playoff spot.
Exactly. And just every game is important for a playoff game. I mean, we're going to definitely need to do that because Enid, they're getting better over the last few years. The coach there does a great job, and they're getting better. But we should win that game. And then you look over at Moore's is better than they have in the past. We should win that game. But there's things that we've got to do. We've got to fight hard with Jinx. Jinx is a team that I think is very beatable. And I think we have the tools that we can do it. If we just put things together and change the way we think, it's going to be a different outcome.
Well, that will do it for our coverage tonight. A big thank you to Madison down on the sidelines, even though we didn't get to go to her quite as much as we would have liked to. Thanks, of course, also to Tony Hurling, Terry Sprider, all the students helping to produce the show tonight. Big thank you to Jeremy Brown, our spotter, Skip Hyde, our stats man, as well. Of course, Steve Spavital to my right. I'm Adam Hildebrandt. Final score 77-17 tonight. Bixby over Broken Arrow. And Adam Hildebrandt saying good night and God bless from Bixby.